Yo, we are coming to you live on a Sunday afternoon, fresh off of a Crown Jewel experience. It's Mr. Young.
And it's for in the building, bro. Sunday afternoon podcast after a pay-per-view or PLE. Feels like it's almost becoming a bit of a tradition for us, yeah?
I know. You know what? Here's the thing. I kind of like it because it takes the stress away from like work commitments. As you know, we are both very gainfully employed and also very hardworking individuals, right? And sometimes,
thankfully.
exactly, right? And on a weekday, not that we don't love our weekday Tuesday schedule, we love it, right? But sometimes it does, things crop up. Like halfway during lunchtime, you get a message from the boss, or you're thinking about, I have to do this, I have to do that. On a Sunday, none of that BS. We're just here to talk wrestling.
Bro, and you know what's the best part? Like, okay, I know some people complain about like the 1 a.m. timing in Saudi Arabia. But yesterday night was like the perfect entertainment product for me. You see, okay. I went out, I had some like Halloween party, got home just in time. It was a Liverpool game, 11-1.
Right.
And the moment the Liverpool game ended and we won, thankfully, thanks to Mo Salah, then straight away transition into Crown Jewel. And I'm like, damn, this is like the best night for me, man, to like chill and watch stuff.
Okay, but the question is, did you manage to tahan all the way? Did you have to split Crown Jewel in half?
I can tell you exactly at which part I fell asleep.
Okay, you tell us later when we do the proper review. But hello to everybody in chat, by the way. Zayden, it's good to see you. Alfred, yeet! There was a lot of yeeting, all right. And in just a little while, we will be joined by yet another special guest. This seems to be a new thing for us as well. We're getting these special guests in the studio to chat about not just the WWE stuff, but local wrestling in just a little while. A very title-hungry individual, also hungry for meats as well.
For sure.
It's right there in the title. You know who it is. We'll be chatting with him. He's standing by. I hope.
Yeah, standing by with the cleaver.
I hope Clevie makes an appearance.
Yes, for sure. And you know what's the best part? I think the reason why we're having an uptick in guests is, of course, it's coming towards the end of the year.
Yeah.
All the Singapore local wrestling promotions are putting out their anniversary shows. So it's a pretty big time, especially if you're a local wrestling fan. And not just for the local wrestling promotion as well, it's for us as well, bro. We are counting down the Singapore Wrestler Top 20. The list is going to be revealed 1st December. So you guys watch out for that. So we are kind of reviewing the last few batch of shows before close, deadline shut. Yes. No more late entries, bro.
I honestly can't wait for it. And this fellow that we're going to talk to, I can guarantee you he's been the stalwart of the local wrestling scene. Guarantee he's going to be on that list. I don't even need to speculate. I can guarantee. Anyway, we'll get to him in just a few moments. But of course, as always, we got to send love to our sponsor of the podcast. Let's say hello to Hasif, Hasif_captures. If you haven't already done so, hey, do us a favor. Do your podcast boys a favor. Drop him a follow on social media, on Instagram.
For sure. I mean, he is an independent financial advisor. So if you ever need a second opinion on your portfolio, you can hit him up. He has a Tay with Hasif series as well. If you want to meet him and talk about entrepreneurship, talk about fitness. That guy is a fitness bro, like I wish I was. But he is definitely a legit High Rocks bro. And he's also, loves talking about small businesses, personal branding, anything under the sun. Copies on him. Just have to turn up and say hi.
Absolutely. First meeting is all about the vibes, as it were. There's like a Google Forms. Yeah, you can just click on it and boom, fill in whatever you need to fill in. There you go. Once again, drop our guy a follow. That's Hasif_captures on Instagram.
For sure. And you know what? I'm excited because he may or may not make an appearance in the upcoming SPW shows. And upcoming Grapple Max shows. So keep a lookout. I'll make sure I'll introduce him. Everyone give him the handshake treatment. Give him the Shane McMahon to AEW treatment if that happens. So watch out for that.
I don't know about that one. But that aside, it's time to welcome our guest that we've promised for a while already. The man of the hour. He did bring Clevie.
Oh dear God. What's up?
Foreign, have you been brushing up on your butcheries?
No, I haven't.
I can actually like talk English.
Oh, thank God. What's up, bro? I haven't been catching up on my Duolingo on butcheries, so I'm so sorry, man. But thank you so much for joining us, Butcherman. It's a pleasure, bro.
It is so good to see you guys again, and thank you for all that are joining us in the chat. I think this is gonna be a good one.
Yeah, wait, before anything else, we are here live. Butcherman is live streaming on the podcast right now. So if you guys have any questions, anything to ask Butcherman, please go on the chat and hit him up. Yeah. And he is making his return to the podcast for the first time in 4 years.
And
the last time we were on the show was so long ago. Yes.
I swear we did not plan this perfectly, but 4 years ago, he was on the show during Halloween. During the Halloween period, we did a Halloween special. We talked about all our favorite horror characters in pro wrestling. And then 4 years later, here he is with us right now on a Sunday afternoon. Let's go.
For sure. And it's for a good reason as well. You know, when we bring him back, we wanted to make sure that, you know, we highlight him in the best of ways. And the reason why is because he is currently the #1 contender for the SPW Southeast Asian Championship. Bro, how excited are you about this opportunity, or is it long overdue, bro?
Oh, like, I think, I do understand the sentiment that is long overdue, but I feel that the timing is perfect because actually I joined SPW, like the training center, 10 years ago.
Ooh.
Wow. Almost like exactly 10 years ago. I joined in about like December. So the statement, of course, was my trainer, and like 10 years later, I'm actually going to face him for the championship in the main event. So it's like really cool. I'm like very blessed and honored that it's going to be on the 12th anniversary of SPW. So like I think this is like a mind-blowing situation for me, and also like it's a dream come true.
There are also a lot of factors that come into play. So many things have changed. He's aligned himself with new people, arguably the most dangerous faction in SPW. Okay, we'll get to all that when we preview Crowning Glory, which is of course happening on Friday. I can't wait. Personally, I've had people ask me about like, hey, Mr. Young, are you going? So the buzz is definitely already there. You know, it's like the anniversary show, year-end show. You know SPW is going to go out with a bang.
And also, one thing else we wanted to talk about before we dive right into anniversary, we also want to talk about, like, you know, like your history, everything from, like, you know, reforming, reuniting with Dr. Gore, our previous arch nemesis, and as well as, like, you know, the how SPW has grown in the last 12 years. I think you as an OG, you definitely as a veteran, we can see the trajectory through your eyes as well. So that's going to be really, really exciting, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, absolutely. And of course, with Da Butcherman, we are going to talk about Crown Jewel, the WWE PLE that just happened a couple of hours ago. But before we get there, though, I do want to ask you, right? Obviously, you are a fan of horror and horror movies. It is the season for spooky. What is your favorite horror movie? I don't know if we've ever actually asked that of you, Butcherman.
Yeah, it's true. So like just a very embarrassing confession. In terms of like supernatural horror, I absolutely hate it. I'm so like terrified.
Really?
I am so terrified of like supernatural horror. But like slasher horror, that one no problem lah. Because normally I root for the slasher to like kill all.
Of
Understandable.
Yeah.
Understandable.
Well, who is your favorite quote unquote icon, slasher icon?
That's tough. I would say like Leatherface.
Texas Chainsaw, right?
Yes.
But I mean, like I do also like Michael Myers. Or no, is it Michael Myers or
Mike Myers?
Michael Myers is Halloween.
So,
yes.
The Austin Powers Mike Myers.
That was Mike Myers.
No, that was same name, but different vibe completely.
yeah, completely different.
Same name, but different vibe.
Myers lah. Yeah. I feel like he's like a Terminator vibe where like you think he's dead, but actually he's not. Like I think that's pretty cool. But like speaking of like horror movies, right? There was one I watched recently. It was Dabe. Have you guys heard of that one?
Dabe,
yeah. So it's a Turkish horror. That was insane. That was like
okay.
For like 3 days, like sleep. Like that was scary. So it's set in Turkey. It's all about like jinns and like possessions and stuff. So
that's wild.
Yeah, it was like really, really like well done.
The only Turkish horror I heard about recently that became like world famous was Sitchin. It's not the same, right?
So Sitchin, I think that's the Turkish one, but what I watched was the Indonesian one. Which
yes.
that was like
wild
as well.
Did you?
It was not good. Like it was just like
okay.
It was so bad. Like the logic was also bad. So like I was like, like this movie is not scary. Like I overcame my supernatural horror movie fears.
I see. The best way to overcome your horror fears, right? You just to watch a bad horror movie so you can laugh at it.
Yeah, that's true.
And then desensitize yourself that way. Okay, so interesting enough, I just Googled it, right? Da Be is a 2006 Turkish horror film. They have so many sequels, it's kind of ridiculous.
How many?
The one in particular is Da Be, I think it's called The Possession. Da Be The Possession. About like maybe the third or fourth, but that is like the strongest movie out of the series because the rest like campy, but this is like the very Blair Witch Project kind of feel, like on stage kind of feel. Yeah, that was like really, really good.
Okay, we got some comments on the chat. Zayden was asking, is this the one that had real incantations?
No, that one was called Incantation on Netflix. I watched that one. That one was scary.
Okay.
What he's talking about is Sichin. So,
Sichin,
yes. Beginning of the movie, they use like the real incantations, which I mean, I guess if you know,
believe,
it's quite scary. But then like if you don't know about it, it's like it's whatever.
Interesting.
Right. So okay, just to lay it out, there's Da Be, Demon Possession, Da Be 2, Da Be 7, Da Be El Nazar, Da Be 6, Da Be Curse of the Jinn,
my God.
Da Be 5, Zer Isin. So yeah, when you know a franchise has this many sequels, you know, okay, like at some point it becomes parody already.
Wait, do you guys remember the end of 22nd Jump Street? Where the post-credit scene is like all the 23rd Jump Street and then like they're giving a montage of all the future sequels.
Yeah, 24, 20, and then
Yeah, so I think it's the same vibes lah. But man, okay, thanks for the introduction. I think all the listeners and viewers check out Da Be, man. Is it on Netflix? I think
it is Da Be The Possession. Yeah.
Okay.
By the way, Najwan says, what about Da Be Ellen? Hey, we got jokes. We got jokes in the chat, bro.
Hey, jokes. That's one piece.
Da Be Ellen, that one.
Hey, we watch that every Thursday. That one very hard to watch.
Wow, that one is true horror, bro. Trying to watch what's going on AEW. Okay, come. Let's talk a bit about Crown Jewel. Butcherman, have you been following the WWE product? Do you jump in and out? Like, what's your schedule like these days?
Yeah, so like I normally just watch the highlights for like Raw and SmackDown, but you know, like the ones where they show like the full matches on YouTube, that I definitely watch. Then yeah, I just like finished Crown Jewel about like 15 minutes ago.
I appreciate it. You were just saying off screen like, oh, thanks for appreciate you doing the homework. You know.
Yeah.
But the fun thing is, right, a lot of my friends have been asking us about WWE ever since the news was announced that it's on Netflix. How is the WWE wrestling chatter around like your group of friends or people who might not watch wrestling all the time? Are they aware? And how are you feeling about the Netflix move?
Yeah, like I mean, like personally, I feel that it's really good because of the exposure to like many more eyes. Even like my colleagues who like maybe like watched wrestling last time, they were like, "Hey, like I heard about this like Netflix deal." Or it's like so much easier for me to watch now because like it's more readily available for them. So yeah, I think like the excitement in terms of like amongst the wrestling community is quite strong. Yeah, for sure.
Oh yeah, and I've said this ad nauseum, right? The thing about Netflix is sometimes we just sit there, there's so much choice, we don't know what to do, we'll doom scroll forever, right? Now, you got something where, hey, I remember The Rock last time, wow, he's such a funny guy. Oh, you know, this Roman Reigns, he has such a vibe, right? It's such a great way to capture new audiences. I'm actually really excited for it, not just for the WWE, but pro wrestling as a whole, because, you know, one thing generates interest, people are into pro wrestling, say, hey, Singapore also got pro wrestling, let's go watch an SPW show, you know? Foreign, you okay now? You're frozen over there.
No, I'm listening, bro. I'm listening. I'm excitedly musing about the possibilities of watching Netflix and how it leads into local wrestling. I think, definitely the funnel is there.
Maybe bro was like thinking about what can they do with Liv Morgan and Dom
Hey.
Okay. So this is a question that gets thrown around a lot, and I want to get your thoughts on it, both of you, right? Do you think that WWE will push the boundaries and go a little bit more? For example, maybe a bit of nudity, maybe more cursing. A lot of people are saying, "Oh, Netflix means can cross all these lines." Do you think it's something they will do? Personally, I don't. But what do you guys think, Butcherman?
I think it's not necessary, but it might get like more eyeballs, like because like that was one of the main attractive points of the Attitude Era. I mean, a lot of people are like, oh, like I missed the Attitude Era. I mean, of course, yes, like the Attitude Era was like really good, but like I think if they push the envelope, they'll be like more people talking about, like, hey, like, there was this like nude scene on WWE, or like, hey, this person like, threw this person off of the bridge, like, I think it's good. What was the term? Is it like coffee talk? And like
Water cooler talk.
talk.
water cooler
Yeah.
talk.
Yes.
I think I drink too much coffee. That's like,
Coffee talk.
Foreign, what about you? What do you think?
I would actually think that they would only use it sparingly to serve a storyline. I think like the new management, the way they approach things is like it has to serve the story first.
Yep.
So like we're not gonna just have like sex scenes for the sake of sex scenes. That one you can just go on internet to find out. But there has to be a reason why these things are happening. And I think even the violence, like for example, Hell in a Cell, Drew McIntyre and CM Punk, that's a perfect reason why there was blood involved. I think WWE will be smart in their usage of it.
I agree. I think they are in a really good spot storytelling wise. I'll be very honest, right? Watching Crown Jewel, like for whatever reason it was, I just sat there thinking every single match that went on, right? It literally had a very easily digestible and understandable story. Even if I didn't watch the match, even if I don't give a shit about how well they wrestled, I know all the storylines. And that to me is right now WWE's main like plus point. You don't have to be this expert to sit there and analyze everything. Oh, okay, I get it. And we'll go through each of the matches and, we can explain the storylines in one sentence. To me, if you can't explain the storyline in 1 or 2 sentences, you've lost people,
Agreed. And I think I would love to pick Butcherman's brain as well in terms of like laying out a match, like psychology of a match. Like, what do you think WWE is like doing really well this season? Because like clearly it's on an upward trajectory, and like Young brought out the point about it being very digestible to watch. But do you think there's any other factors in how they present their PLEs that's been really helpful?
Yeah, so like I was like looking at like I wrote down like a few notes, and a lot of the common points with all the matches is that almost all the matches had like purpose.
Yep.
Like every move had a purpose. I like for example, I mean we're gonna go more in depth about it later, but like for example, Seth versus Bronson. So like on commentary they were saying like why this match is important. Like Bronson wants to take Seth's spot like in the meet. And I thought that was like really cool. And the way they presented it in terms of like the match, like it made a lot of sense. Yeah.
Shall we jump into it proper then?
Yeah, for sure. Before that, Prabhu on the chat wanted to say pay much respect to the Butcherman for taking time away from your meat shop on a Sunday afternoon to do this podcast.
Hey, shout out to Prabhu. Prabhu is like a big fan. Like whenever I attend a Graphomax show and like Prabhu comes out at showtime, I'll cheer the hell out of Prabhu, but then I'll boo the shit out of like Valen.
Oh,
yeah, Prabhu is like the guy in the group that everyone kind of like low-key like supports and loves. Yeah, so it's really awesome.
The turn and defection will be epic. Just saying, huh? Okay.
Cinema!
Yes, our objective silverback over there. But let's jump into Crown Jewel proper. And once again, we're in Saudi Arabia. It's a big money show. Everything looks grand. You have to give it a WWE right now. Presentation is 100%, right? We kick off with the Bloodline versus the original Bloodline. Okay.
Were you guys surprised that they started off with this?
No, I thought they would start with this. Start hot, right, Butcher?
I was like, wow, like, this is a really strong match to start off with. But you know what, like, because like for me, like this match is like a wet dream for me because I love like so much. Like, I think in terms of like inspirations, like now, like wrestler, I've been like watching like as many Samoan wrestlers as I can. So like seeing all together, I was like, yeah.
And don't forget, Butcherman, one of your signature moves is the kind of Superman punch, right? So, so definitely it's really, really cool. I do see the connection, definitely, in the way you wrestle.
I have to ask you, Butcherman, because you are fluent in Butchanese. Can you tell me what Tamatonga is saying when he goes, is that a dialect of butcheries or is it a completely different language? Because there are similarities. I feel like some of the tonalities, some of the, inflections, like very similar like that.
Yeah, so it's a bit of an offshoot, like because like my language is a bit of an offshoot of theirs.
Oh.
So when Tamatonga goes like it's kind of similar to when I go like yeah. If you notice
dialect
inflection a bit different.
So what he's saying is that I'm going to F you up. in my language, it means I'm going to chop you up. So it's kind of like the same.
Right.
That slight difference lah.
It's like Mandarin and Hokkien lah.
Yeah. I love that we finally have some clarity on, you know, something that we hold so dear to our hearts here on Kick to the Gut. Tama Tonga and Tonga. Yeah.
Our two favorite Tongans.
Let's get to the match itself. I mean, this was all, I wouldn't say this is all story. Obviously, they went out there, they performed, right? But it was like, to me, 80% them telling the story. No?
And another cool thing I wanted to say as well is that while it's a very story-driven match, if you've been a long-time Bloodline viewer, right, you have seen how subtly each person's character has kind of evolved, right? You can tell, like, I think the selling point of the new Bloodline is like they are all really a well-worked unit, no egos in between all of them, and the OG Bloodline have all these communication issues. Jey Uso being his own man, not wanting to be treated as not an equal with Roman Reigns.
He came out separately from Roman, whereas the new Bloodline, they all came out together.
Yeah. So the story of that kind of led the whole match. It's almost to a point where WWE has like kind of perfected the formula of a Bloodline match. You know what to expect. It's not a technical masterpiece per se.
Nope.
But man, all about aura, presence, and storytelling. Yeah. What about you, Butcher? What do you think about how the match was laid out?
Yeah, so like I think the story was like perfectly told. It was very concise, it was very like clear. So okay, I don't know whether I looked into it like too much, but you guys remember the part where I think was it Jacob Fatu? No, it was Tama Tonga. He knocked off Jimmy. Then like Jey was forced to tag in Roman, right?
Yes.
You guys notice he didn't tag with one hand, he tagged with both hands. So like I don't know whether there was symbolism of like, you know what, like we're in the trenches, like right now, even though like we have our differences, like F it, I'm just going to like put my trust with two hands, bam. Then like Roman went in and kicked ass lah.
Okay, yeah.
I don't know whether like I was looking into it too much lah. But another thing like I really want to point out is like Jacob Fatu like is the man. Like
he is.
Yes, he is.
Are you guys familiar with his like indie stuff like MLW?
MLW, yes, for me I do follow him.
So like whenever he does, you know, the hands together, then he does I love you solo. It's like very reminiscent of when he was a part of Contra. He was in a Contra. So he'll always say like, hail Contra. So like he is a guy that you want in your faction because he'll just put over the team name. He'll just put over like all the key points to the point where you will remember like him because of like him just putting over the group name, and also you'll remember the group name because he keeps on repeating it.
Do you guys feel that Solo Sikoa has really blossomed, for lack of a better term? That sounds very weird, but he's really like stepped up in terms of his presentation, even his aura. Like, you know, remember we used to say when this whole thing went off, he like a bit aura-less, especially when compared to someone like Roman Reigns, who's like 1,000 aura. But now he's sort of got this different aura. He's like grown up a little bit.
Yeah, for sure. And the thing is, I like about Solo is that something maybe clicked in him in these last few months where somebody told him to like, hey, I think you can let loose a bit, show a bit more of your humor. Because the one where I got tickets. I got tickets. That like legitimately cracked me up because I was like, hey, this guy actually quite funny. And like I wanted to go back to Butcherman's point about Jacob, right? You know, if you've seen his indie stuff, right, I can't wait when WWE finally lets Jacob cut solo promos. Like he was the best trash talker. Like if you see some of his you know, like solo backstage promos one-on-one, he talks like a street dude, and it's like really like a convict kind of like gangster dude. So like I don't know how they're gonna introduce that element because now he's like more of like a Samoan, like, you know, crazy guy,
fanatical monster.
But like if you can like bring a bit of like that, I don't know, that New York tough slang and like that street talk, bro, he can legitimately be like a top heel star. Like it's just waiting for that moment.
Let's
I just like talk a bit about Solo and the aura. So like I heard a lot about the how aura-less he was. But like, I don't know whether you guys agree, but I feel that the reason why people didn't buy into his aura because they compared him and Roman, because obviously, like, you know, new leader, old leader type of thing. So like compared to Roman, of course Roman is like Mr. Aura, right? Then like Solo is like he was what's the term for it? Not the bodyguard, the enforcer.
Enforcer,
Yes.
yeah.
So like for him to be in that leader role, like suddenly it's like, like this guy.
Mm.
I think like his aura stepped up also because if you compare how Roman's bloodline is like now compared to like Solo's bloodline, it's like Solo's bloodline is so united, and it's like because Solo is a good leader. That's why now you take him a bit more seriously as a leader. As compared to Roman, like right now he's still trying to pick up the pieces of like
And no matter how like hilarious Tonga Loa is, Tama Tonga is, right? On TV, Solo never shits on them. You know what I mean? Like
No.
it's not him that is like making fun of them. Like he presents that united front and treats all of them equally with respect. I think that's the difference.
Yeah. For now, for the storyline purpose, right? We don't know what's going to happen in a few weeks, and I think that's a very good point. You know, this current iteration of the Bloodline, everyone is a solid unit. Whereas remember back then, you had Roman always berating Jimmy, berating Jay, forcing him to kowtow to him, that kind of thing, right? So it was a very different. So that's a very good point. Now let's talk about the finish where Solo, for the most part, beat Roman Reigns clean. Did you guys expect that?
Ooh, okay. Like my thoughts on this is, I find it a bit. I wouldn't have done it. Like personally, I know they wanted Solo to come across strong.
Yeah,
for sure. But I feel like Roman taking all the beatings on SmackDown and Raw was good enough to get that rub. They didn't need a definitive loss because this is his first official loss since WrestleMania, right? And
yes,
official like he got pinned, right? He wasn't pinned since then, right?
Yeah.
And like I just feel like doing that on the opening match of a BPLE, like I do not know, I wouldn't have done it. I get why they did it though.
Bro, it's not a BPLE. How dare you? There's like $50 million here. It's not a BP. If every BPLE had $50 million riding on it, they are shock only, bro.
Isn't that what WWE is doing? They outsource all the BPLE to all these different countries, so they will pay big money for them. So, but it's still, you know what I mean?
Sure, fine.
Yeah. But yeah, I wouldn't have done it only because I feel like Solo getting the victory here, would have done the job of like building heat. Without like getting Roman Reigns to lose, because I wanted Roman Reigns losing to be a big deal, to be pinned, and it should have been like a Cody Rhodes or The Rock or at that level.
Well, I mean, on the flip side, if he beat Jimmy, wouldn't we all then say, "Oh, we've seen that so many times. Oh, Jimmy's the fall guy again." You know what I mean? So this does give Solo that big stamp, and he didn't beat him one-on-one, head up, straight up. So there's still an out there. You didn't beat me one-on-one. It was a mess of a match. Or a group match.
I mean, there was a lot of assists from Jacob. Oh, bro, Jacob's moonsault, amazing, bro, amazing. Yeah. So, Butcher, what do you think about that finish? And like, okay, another question I want to ask is because you're an expert, in 6-man tags. I've seen you multiple times doing 6-man tags. What do you think worked about this 6-man tag, and if you were the one kind of like laying it out, what would you have done differently?
Okay, so like in terms of doing things differently, I wouldn't have done anything differently because like the way they set up the finish was perfect. In fact, like if you were to pin Roman, that's the way you should pin Roman because like he took like 3 Samoan spikes. He took the moonsault from Jacob Fatu. He had to kind of like Superman punch like all the other members of the new bloodline. So it's like it really took a lot to pin Roman.
Yeah.
If you so yeah, in fact, like I think like Solo did a Samoan spike, then like Roman set up, and then like he did another Samoan spike.
Yeah.
I think like in a way it's not say overkill, but like Roman should be dead already because he took things really. Yeah, so if you wanna pin Roman, that's the way you should. If it was just like maybe one Samoan spike, okay, that might have been a bit anticlimactic, but I was like totally fine with the finish. And I think it's the best result going forward because as you guys know, and I think you guys are gonna mention Sami Zayn appeared after. So I hope that it sets up War Games.
Correct. And of course, leading up to the War Games, we were going to have the whole cinema of, hey, did you do that on purpose? No, I was actually trying to help Jay, blah, 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 blah. So we'll get the whole drama thing, and I think we're all here for it. And, eventually the big payoff is when they hug it out in the ring and announce, yes, this will be the Bloodline, and that will be the moment. Are you guys looking forward to that moment, Foreign?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, Sami Zayn appearing, again, like, you have to understand, right? He is gonna be a forever babyface in Saudi Arabia, right?
Sure.
You know,
Yes.
with the connection and all that. And then the fact that he came in, and I really like that he turned on Solo using the exploder suplex, because he got to hug him, right?
Oh, yeah.
But I wish he milked the hug a bit longer, so that when he hugged him, people will be like, boo. And then his twist transition into exploder suplex, it will be like, yay! You know what I mean? Like
Right.
a double big reaction. That would be fun. I like the dissension, the plot twist where they kind of like accidentally hit each other. That was all of that was done really great. But the only issue is, right, they teased him talking to Solo, right? So I do not know whether this was too fast of a payoff.
Oh.
You get what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
if they did the way they did it, I'm fine. I'm okay with it. But if I had the way to book it, I would have made Sammy come out, and people still coming out of the show still feel like, whose side is he on? You know what I mean?
So
Drag it out a bit further.
So you would have rather he not do the exploder, but actually like try to make the save but miss. So there was no like definitive, oh yeah, he's definitely against Solo moment.
Imagine they remove the hugging part, right?
Yeah.
It's just the part where Solo stands in the middle of the ring. Sammy comes in at the corner, getting ready for a pullover kick. Roman Reigns on the other side, getting ready for it. And then they did the same thing. People will be like, wait a
minute.
Side?
Yeah, I see what you're talking about.
Yeah. But generally I'm excited for like the 4-week build up to Survivor Series 30th November, right? So that should be fun. Somebody on the chat on our Discord actually was like saying like, can you imagine like Paul Heyman comes back and then he comes out with a hoodie and a bandana, like Jey Uso. That would be hilarious. But yeah, I think, I don't know. Do you guys think Paul Heyman is needed in this build up or not yet?
Butchman, go ahead.
I think like it will definitely be like a good like a culmination of the whole thing. So like maybe like, okay, let's just say like War Games, that's when he appears. I think like right now, maybe we don't need it, because like I think once you have like all members of the bloodline, of the old bloodline, then it's like, okay, like everything's perfect now. But like I think they're slowly building up the unity, slowly building up their chemistry again. So once Paul Heyman comes in, it's like, okay, they're back. Like old bloodline is back in form. Yeah.
Do you think it will be a case of it only takes Paul Heyman coming back to unite the old bloodline? You know, that's the story they're trying to tell. So now they're all going to have their miscomm because they have no wise man. But finally, when the wise man comes back, then they pull their shit together, sort of a deal. So I don't know how long they want to stretch this out, but I'm thinking maybe they lose. The original bloodline lose at War Games as well.
Wow.
So they drag it all the way to, you know, like Royal Rumble, WrestleMania, that season. Then Paul Heyman finally makes his return, be like, let me get everybody together, and you know.
Yeah. I like that. What would set it off even more is like, okay, they win in War Games. It's a hellacious match. They barely survive, right? And like you can see Solo and his team like retreating, kind of like upset again. And then we get a repeat of Bad Blood. Where the Rock, yes, right. where the Rock comes in, the Rock's entrance right at the tail end, and then he appears. And then, but this time, it's not Solo retreating into the crowd. He's retreating at the entrance, and then the Rock comes in and steps beyond him, or like even touches his shoulder and say, "Okay, now step aside. Okay, now I'm the actual, you know, final boss."
Yeah.
Then that kickstarts WrestleMania season to me in my eyes.
Yeah,
love it. But generally, I think I'm quite excited. Well, so like overall, how will you guys grade this match? Because a lot of people were saying like this was a good bloodline match, but it's not like the best bloodline match that they've seen.
I mean, it's not. Here's the thing, right? Like it's a stepping stone to the bigger story. It's not the final chapter. So sometimes it takes a while to get there. It served its purpose. So I was very happy with this match.
For sure. Zayden said KO feeling more betrayed than ever, lol.
And we'll get to KO and Randy's non-match in just a bit. But let's move on then. The Fatal 4-Way Tag Team match for the WWE Women's Tag Team Championship. Okay, going in, right, I think a lot of us were like, okay, like, whatever, like, what's this match for? But I actually low-key enjoyed this match in that, there were no major like botches or cock-ups or anything like that.
Come on, you don't watch a women's match just to think about that. Come on.
No, but like, I mean, not women's matches per se, but like some of the, participants here, let's just say have a bit of a greenness to them. I'm not talking about Chelsea.
Oh, I would love to hear Butcherman's thought on this, but I'll just quickly say my part. Like, I thought that this was a great display of women's tag team. Not just the moves and like how they work against each other, but like them as fully formed, established tag teams. Because like Damage Control and all their history, they are like a legit tag team. Jade Cargill, Bianca Belair, they have their thing going on. Even Chelsea and Piper, I would say they are very established as a duo. And like, if you don't watch NXT and this is your first time seeing like Lash Legend and Jakara Jackson, like, bro, I came out of this match was like, damn, this Jakara Jackson got a bit of it factor. And I love that Lash Legend is like this pure powerhouse. Like, even if they are green or not as smooth yet, but you can see like the tools, the diamonds that can be, crystal into. So
that's why this was a multi-person match, to be quite honest. So that we can have the veterans, sort of run the show here. Butcherman, what did you think?
Yeah, so like I think you guys might agree, but I feel that the MVP of the whole match just have like 2 words. It's Chelsea.
It's Chelsea.
Wait, did they replace the voiceover? Because it used to be Samantha Irving, right? It sounded a bit different. I don't know. Maybe I'm overthinking it.
Do you guys miss the Chelsea ring announcement? Because like, just not the same, man.
My Rome tried. He did it with the Chelsea green. I don't know if you noticed it. I was like, that one you got to commit 100% or don't. You know what I mean? Don't do halfway, bro.
Yeah. Chelsea Green, I agree with you, Butcherman, might be my favorite female character in WWE.
Yep.
She commits to her role so well. Remember last time when she first re-debuted, we were saying like, she's like the Karen of WWE. But I think she has like really leveled up to a more fleshed out character. I think she's that girl who is just she's just so annoyed that she doesn't get all these opportunities, and she's just gonna be a bitch about it. You know what I mean? Like,
and you can tell she makes the most out of the opportunities that she's given. She commits to it. You know who she reminds me of actually? Mickie James. I feel like she will have a Mickie James moment at some point at a WrestleMania when she finally gets a title shot. Like, the crowd will turn, I feel.
The crowd will turn and support her like crazy. I'm pretty sure as well. Yeah. But I guess right now, her role is she needs to be used to help establish the tag team scene. But I feel like reassured knowing that if Jade and Bianca drops their belt and do their own feud, the rest can kind of step up because there are tag teams waiting in the wings, to get that rub.
What do you think of the finish? I mean, it made sense. I think nobody here thought any of the other teams were going to win it, right?
I mean,
it's like Belair and Cargill. I think like they still have like a lot of like juice in their reign. I think when they initially lost it, also I was like,
like so fast, right?
It was like way too fast. So like I think the finish was great. I mean, big fan of the Doomsday device all the time.
Of course.
Yeah.
I love it. Oh, speaking of people they lost to, like, bro, what happened to Isla Dawn and Alba Fire? Like, they were great for a minute, and like, bro, come on, it's Halloween. Like, this is the perfect time to bring back the, those unholy union. So I
don't know. I feel like WWE have lost faith in them already. And just a side note, talking about losing faith, did you see the 3 releases that were announced?
Oh, yes. Indy Hartwell.
Yes.
Sorry, who else?
Baron Corbin, surprising, because he's always been talked about like in a very positive way. So I was very surprised by them. I forgot who the third one was. Let me Google that real quick.
It's Tegan Nox.
Tegan Nox, okay, that one I'm not surprised because they barely ever use her. So
oh dear God. Hey, what's up, Irvin? Yo.
Good to see everybody in chat, by the way. Yes, sorry.
Yeah, good numbers in the chat. Appreciate you guys spending your Sunday afternoon. Please ask Butcherman questions. If you guys have any burning question to ask your number one contender, please do.
Especially when we head towards Crowning Glory, which we will talk about in just a bit. The big SPW show that's happening this upcoming Friday. Are tickets still available, by the way?
Yeah, I think there's like probably like 30 tickets left. So
okay.
It's only the executive seats left, which is 50 per seat, like $50 per seat. So get your tickets before they sell out.
The only way to enjoy an SPW show is ball in. Get your executive tickets right now.
Yeah. In the words of Solo.
Yeah.
I got tickets. I got tickets.
What did you just pull out of your?
No, I'm just pull out my key card. That's nothing else.
I was like, wow, you had that. You were waiting for it, bro. You were waiting
props,
to do that bit.
props, bro.
Wow. Okay, come. Let's talk about Seth freaking Rollins versus Bronson Reed.
Woo. All right.
Okay, to be honest, going into this match, I was a bit like, whatever lah. Okay, we get what they're going with. I actually appreciated the story that they told after the match. And knowing that Seth probably was like, okay, he had to put over Bronson Reed, but he did so in a way that made Bronson Reed like bigger than he was previously. So he put over Bronson Reed to me in such a great way. What did you guys think? Foreign.
Yeah. First of all, as a rap fan, I love Bronson Reed's gear. He was doing a tribute to this rapper called MF Doom. I don't know if you guys are aware.
Wow.
Old school guy. And so love the gear. I love it. I was like, this is like modern Earthquake slash. You know, Earthquake used to have that kind of like very colorful attire.
Earthquake, typhoon, those natural disasters. There you go.
Yes, there you go. And another thing I was kind of thinking like, okay, this was a make and break moment for Bronson Reed, right? This is the biggest opportunity of his career. He's wrestling a former world champion one-on-one. He's fighting in a big PLE, Saudi Arabia, big audience. And to me, when the finish happened, I was like, man, I wish Bronson Reed won. But then, as he was standing in the ring with the blood and like the fact that he's still, he still stood up, like he wasn't affected, I almost felt like Seth Rollins didn't win. Like he, even though he won, he didn't really win. Like
no, and to Seth's credit, he sold it. He could have, if he didn't want to, if he just kind of went, whatever lah, and walked away, it would have made Bronson Reed look like a chump. But Seth, you saw it on camera. He's like, what the. He's like, I can't believe it. I gave him everything I could. I barely beat him, but he's standing in the ring. Like, what is this monster?
Yeah, I love it. And I also feel like this match is, I don't know, maybe this is a lofty comparison, but this feels like the best version of like Shawn Michaels versus Vader.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah, like to me, that felt like a modern Michaels versus Vader because like when HBK wasn't being a diva, he had excellent matches with Vader where like he was bumping like crazy for him. He was like selling, he was flying around. He let Vader throw him around. And I felt the same vibe coming from this match. Like, I think Seth Rollins really committed to selling for Bronson Reed, and that made him a star. And even like things like him doing the curb stomp off the top rope or like trying to curb stomp on the steel steps, there's this danger, like this monster is gonna keep standing up, like gotta bring him down. So I love that there was that urgency in this match that I enjoyed.
So I get the idea of you have to pull out all the stops, right? But the whole stomp on the stairs right in front of the referee was a bit like, at least distract the referee. Like, you know what I mean? I don't, I know it's not a foreign object per se. You're not swinging it, but you know what I mean? To me, that bugs me a little bit, but not so much that I didn't enjoy the match lah.
As a wrestler, Butcherman, do you feel that this grey area is something that a lot of wrestlers try to... How can we logic it? Like, okay, is this not a no disqualification match, but I can hit someone on the steel steps and it's counted? Like, how do you guys wrap around that?
Yeah, so like I think something similar that I think almost all wrestlers do. If you guys notice, like sometimes in a match, like it's not even no DQ, it's just like a normal match. So we'll go outside, we'll brawl, and the referee like doesn't know whether should I like count to 10 right now, because I think it's already like
more than 10
minutes have already like passed. Yeah, so like we kind of like sometimes bend the rules in the name of just entertainment lah. So you kind of like, we hope like the fans just like forgive us.
Okay.
Or maybe the referee was trained in the school of AEW refereeing, so maybe that's also one of them.
Stop. Okay, I guess the logic is if you take something and swing, that one is malicious intent. But if it's just there and the other fella is hovering over it, you stomp him, technically you didn't swing. This is like... once again, gray area for the sake of telling the story, right? But the story was he stomped him on the stairs, he stomped him off the top rope.
Yeah.
It took all that just to beat Bronson. Did you, Butcherman, enjoy the story that they told in the ring?
Yeah, like, what I wrote down in my notes was the match felt very like purposeful. Like every single thing like meant something. And I was just really hooked. Okay, so like I kind of had the same sentiments as you, Young, where I was like, I mean, yeah, I get the whole story of the was it the 6 tsunamis or like the many?
Correct, yeah.
I was like, okay, yeah, I guess that story will be okay. But then like when I think Michael Cole mentioned about how Bronson wanted to take Seth Rollins' spot, I was like, oh shit, yeah, like that's actually like a great story. Like to do everything in my power, even though it might not be the most honorable way. Like I'm still gonna like do what I can to be in the main event. And like there's this one spot that I thought was like really nice. It was quite simple. He was gonna go for a tsunami, but then like Seth like rolled out the way.
Yeah.
And
And
just
he
like
stomped him, right?
then he did a senton. He just did like a big. I was like, yeah, like that's how you do it. Because it's like if he's gonna roll away, just like hit him one like big move before we're gonna try the tsunami again. Yeah, and I like how like Seth was like defiant till the end. I think when Seth said, like you should have like finished me off when you had the chance. That was like I think Bronson's kind of like hubris. Like he didn't get the job done. If he just like like went a bit more vicious or more ferocious, he might have gotten the win. But like it was just that one leg or that one hesitation that cost him. Yeah.
What do you guys think of? I feel like Seth has done this twice already, maybe even more. Starting the match with finishers, because I don't know if you noticed the first in-ring move was the tsunami.
Yes.
And then the Bronson went up to do a second one. Seth got out of the way. He stomped him. So they initially traded finishes to start the match. And didn't they do that at WrestleMania, Seth versus Drew?
Yeah. I remembered this, and I also kind of harken back to a way earlier match when Seth fought against Brock Lesnar to open WrestleMania 35.
Yeah.
And he started off with like, it's almost as if this, again, frantic, urgent, like I need to finish off this match as quick as possible.
It's like you're playing 2K and you come in with one finisher already.
You straight with spam it.
Yeah, spam it. There you go.
Yeah, I think Bronson also had that urgency as well. Even though it was kind of Seth trying to survive Bronson, but Bronson wanted to finish him up quick to like really establish and emphasize like this is the spot that I want, and I love that story that they were trying to tell. Yeah.
This is one of those matches that the match itself got me interested in the story. The story itself didn't get me interested, but the match got me interested, if that makes sense.
Yeah. So that's proof that Mr. Young can actually enjoy a wrestling match if the story is good enough. Like if there's a story being told.
Wait, hang on. When have I said otherwise?
I mean, all those times where you say like, hey, a match is not enough to tell a story. This is the point I'm trying to say.
Oh, right. Okay. No, it's like, obviously it's 50-50, right? Sometimes you have the best of all worlds when you have, like, for example, Cody versus Roman, right? You're like, okay, two good wrestlers plus incredible build-up story.
Yeah. Another thing I wanted to ask as well for your opinions, right? Like, do you think Seth at this point in his career, even though yes, he is a top guy, but I feel like he will never be the number one guy like how Roman and Cody is. But his role is a bit of that Shawn Michaels 2004 role where he came back as the veteran, and his job is just to build up all the next generation of stars, like carry them up to the main event level. Do you think that's where he's going to be at his career? Butcherman, I would love to hear your point of view.
Yeah, I definitely see it that way. I mean, like I am more of like the school of thought where like Gunther or like Roman should be like the top guy. But yeah, like I mean, like I think the term that we normally use is like the utility player.
Yeah.
Like you fit him in like any role, but not in any like any role, just like any like top role or any role where like we want to build up this particular person, like can you be the guy to help? Like I mean like they trusted him with like Logan Paul that I think WrestleMania was like really cool.
Yeah.
Many situations, even like being was he the first world champ? Yeah, he was. Yeah, they trusted that too.
He was trusted to bring Cody back and had his first match at WrestleMania. I mean, that was a big role.
Yeah.
What's the difference then between a utility player and a good hand? Or is it the same thing?
Yeah, I think that like okay, so for like Seth, if you put him in like opener cut type of feuds, then that will be like a disservice to him, or like you know. You won't be utilizing his full potential, but like if you put him more like high profile stuff, but like any high profile situation, I think it's fine. But like if hand would be like maybe like I don't know, maybe Dolph, yeah, like before he became like Nick Nemeth in TNA, but like any single role like you can put him in. Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's fair. That's fair.
I feel like at any given moment, if they really need a guy, Seth can be that guy that holds the title for a short period of time while maybe the other guys are injured, that kind of thing. So I do see him with one more title run. It's just maybe it won't be a very long one. It'll be like, okay, you deserve it, sort of a title reign.
John Moxley as the same type of guy, because in AEW, like the champion gets like injured or that during that time the CM Punk debacle and all that, like they put the title on Moxley. So I think it's just a shield thing lah.
Moxley is a reliable utility player. I agree as well. I would give a good example of how I think at this point right now in his career, Shaq Gable is a good hand.
Yes.
Yeah. But eventually, I feel he has the potential to be a great utility player in the main event.
Yeah.
Eventually, yeah. But yeah, great examples. Yeah.
Okay, so we go to our first Crown Jewel Championship. Butcherman, I gotta ask you, what do you think of those title belts? A lot of people say it's very gaudy. No, but it's a very Saudi thing. They love their jewels and their diamonds. And what do you think of it from an aesthetic point of view?
Oh man, like I'm not a big fan of green. Like I seen like green with the championship.
Yeah.
Red was already like stretching it. You know when they did the Universal title.
Oh yeah, ugly.
Like I'm more of like traditional like gold and black. Like
black leather.
Yeah.
Do you remember when Braun Strowman won this green color WWE title? Was that the greatest Royal Rumble?
Yes, that was. Never to be seen again.
It's horrible. Okay, so the funny thing with these titles, whatever, you like them, don't like them, right? They are actually not going to be held by the champions. The champions will get a ring, like a Super Bowl ring to parade around with. The titles will go into the WWE experience. So in a lot of ways, it's like an attraction for people to come and visit Riyadh, go to the WWE experience to see this title that was featured on the show, right? So that's the whole reason they made those belts in the first place, to be an attraction for tourists.
Yeah. And also, if you listen to the pre-show or post-show, I think whether it's Jackie Redmond or somebody mentioned that apparently it's like the 100-year anniversary of like the Kingdom or Riyadh or something like that. Yeah. So they were having some sort of big annual celebration, and I think WWE's way of commemorating that is to create these titles as well.
Correct.
Yeah.
Give people a reason to visit the WWE experience. I mean, from a money, big business standpoint, it makes perfect sense, right?
Yeah. Does it make you guys feel like, damn, why don't they do these WWE exhibitions all around the world? Like, I can imagine they do that at Art Science Museum or something like, damn, all of us would be going, bro. That would be damn awesome.
I think it's the money. It's a money issue.
Because
Saudi got money to pay.
Saudi got money to hold a permanent building or exhibition. Yeah.
Bro, even New York doesn't have. Remember WWF New York, which I've been to, by the way.
Oh, wow. Yes. Okay. Isn't that a cafe restaurant or something?
It's a cafe restaurant. They had a WWF shop. It was like when I went there, it was empty. It was lame. It was like, okay, it's just WWF themed shop lah, So even in US, they can't do it. So nowhere, I think really it's only Saudi that they can pull this off.
Yeah, makes sense. But makes me want to visit Riyadh though.
It does.
For WWE. That's pretty cool.
The $50 million is working. All right, let's talk about Liv Morgan versus Nia Jax. Is it weird for me to say that I'm slowly being won over by Liv Morgan? Like, I've said this before, right? Sorry, Butcherman?
Normal.
Yeah. Like previously, it was a case of, she's interesting character-wise, but her in-ring work is like, nothing too special that jumps out, right? But is it a case of she only works if she's a chicken shit heel?
Oh, man. You know what? She reminds me of early Mickie James, if you know what I mean. Like, early when she's like feuding with Trish Stratus.
This is the second time Mickie James has been brought up in this podcast, but yes.
Yeah, let's just tag her in our clips. The thing about Liv Morgan I realized is that there's a reason why WWE wants her to succeed. If you think about it, she is a pure WWE Performance Center project.
Oh yeah.
Never been an indie wrestler. I think she got signed developmental straight away. In her previous life, she was a Hooters girl. Because I was watching her Logan Paul interview.
Oh.
So she actually started off with the Hooters. I'm not sure how she transitioned that into going to wrestling school and going to...
That one is just a side job. That one part-time work only. Don't talk about it like it's her whole career, bro.
No. She was telling me she was legit like a cover, like Hooters International, like got calendar girl. Like she... It's a legit thing for her. So I'm saying like...
Okay, sure.
I'm just curious, maybe WWE want to give her all the tools to succeed because they have invested a lot in her career from the beginning, right? Remember from Riot Squad all the way until now. So maybe there is that. I also feel like the way Triple H talk about her was like, yeah, they really want her or seen her, grow up. So there's that as well.
I think from every interview and every post-match show conversation she's ever had, right? It's very obvious that she's the type of person who tries to get better every time around. She reminds me of Trish Stratus. Remember when Trish Stratus first started, she was just the valet. And then she slowly improved week after week after week. I think she has that work ethic, and that's why they trust her and they are giving her this opportunity. And I will say she should stop doing all these post-match press conferences, because you can tell that she's such a good girl at heart. Her niceness actually comes out. I'm like, no, I need the bad girl image. Don't make me like her, She's a heel, damn it.
Yeah, I need to hate her. And another thing, remember she got arrested a couple of months ago?
For was it possession of marijuana or something like that?
Like somebody put marijuana in her rental car which she didn't realize, blah blah blah.
Yeah.
Anyway, the funniest thing that was takeaway from that was that she actually had a pretty hot mugshot.
Yeah.
And then it became viral because like I think they were talking about it on Logan Paul's podcast as well, saying like, hey, that actually kind of made her cool in the eyes of wrestling fans. It's like, yeah, this chick just, it's like one of us.
The prettiest mugshot on the internet or something like that. Butcherman, what did you think of this match and how they laid it out?
Yeah, okay, so I think if you compare her, I think 2021 when she first won the title. I think she first won the title against Ronda, was it?
Yes. Hardcore Leaf.
Hardcore. That was the cash in, right?
Yeah. So during that point, I was like, I mean, okay, I can see the underdog thing, but I wouldn't see her as a long-term champion.
Yeah.
So fast forward to now, all her victories have made her a bit more solid. So I thought at SummerSlam she was gonna lose to Rhea.
Yep.
But when she beat Rhea, I was like, yeah, makes total sense. I think she didn't seem like an undeserving champion. She didn't seem undeserving. So keeping Nia, I was like, yeah, sure. I am totally on board with that. And of course the way she won as well, made a lot of sense. I'm with the whole Tiffy and Nia Jax whole thing. At first I was like, okay, why are they aligned? Wouldn't Nia just be straight up not trusting Tiffy? But I think it tells a good story too.
Yeah. And one thing I wanted to say as well was because the whole thing that we were talking about Young on the previous episode was, what if Tiffy cashed in? Is Tiffy gonna cost the match and blah blah blah? But it was teased, but it didn't happen. Do you think that was the right decision in hindsight?
Yeah, watching this match went, just make a decision. To me, this whole Tiffy Nia Jax thing has been very I don't know how it's very wishy-washy. Nia Jax has obviously threatened her, has treated her poorly, but then Tiffy's still I'm your friend. But I don't know. To me, something just doesn't click with that whole relationship. You know what I mean?
Somebody needs to stand on their ground and okay, I'm gonna turn. Now it's a bit up in the air.
Yeah, so to me, it felt like a lot of too much gaga in this match. But I get it, for the point of Liv technically one-on-one versus Nia should not be able to win, right?
Agreed.
So you need to have all the distractions in the world. You had what's her face? Tiffy tried to cash in. And then Tiffy's like, who do I cash in on? Yeah, and then you have Raquel, you have Dom. So yeah, it makes sense for Liv's character. I just didn't. I thought the whole thing with Tiffy was convoluted already. It's gone on too long. And I think you're starting to make me lose faith or lose the hype for Tiffany Stratton, if anything else.
Yeah, they need to do that soon. I think the next PLE, I think Nia can afford losing the title at this point in time. Tiffy needs it. Zayden asked a good question. Speaking of Rhea, how would you guys book her return? Because she's been injured twice this year already.
Yeah.
And I kind of feel bad for her, really bad, because this second one, I guess it's unexpected. And I think it's derailing her momentum. What do you guys think about that?
Oh, I agree. And then she just, came off a couple of losses as well. Look, I think Rhea is a star. And whenever she does come back, it will be big. And they had the whole angle where Liv and Raquel beat her up in the NXT parking lot with baseball bats, whatever, right? Bloodied her up. So, okay lah. She obviously has a motive or a target when she comes back, so I think it's fine.
Yeah. Butcherman, do you think this could lead to a WrestleMania match? Will it be that long, or how will you repackage a return?
Yeah, to be honest, like I don't really know like how she can bounce back. I'm okay. Yeah, I mean, I think you guys like she is a star and like you put her in any match, it will be big. But like other than having revenge on Liv again,
Yeah.
I don't see any other like option. Like I mean like what I would do is like make her just say like, oh, like you injured me twice. Because of like all my anger and frustration, I'm gonna beat you at WrestleMania. Like I that's the only way.
Yeah.
So it's either she wins Rumble again, first Rumble winner, or Elimination Chamber. Yeah.
I feel bad actually out of everybody for Raquel. I feel like Raquel was the next one to go up against Rhea to get the Rhea rub. You know what I mean? And that's not going to happen anymore. So Raquel is just going to be Liv's bodyguard.
Yeah.
So I feel bad for Raquel. Yeah.
Alfred asks, but who is the sub in for Rhea to have a story with Liv? Solid point.
I mean, remember we've talked about how maybe the Wyatts can step up, have Nikki Cross be the person, but I don't know if they've sort of like chilled off with the Wyatt 6 already. They're like, okay.
To be honest, who on Raw babyface women can actually step up in this slot? Because right now, Liv needs a challenger. Unless I don't know. Nobody comes to mind.
Could we see the return of somebody who hasn't been around for a while? I mean, her contract status has been the rumor, the talk of the dirt sheets for a while. Like, where is Becky Lynch, right?
Becky Lynch is in the wing. Charlotte Flair is as well. Yeah. We keep forgetting, but these OGs are not even a part of the storylines. But that's how loaded it is.
Bro, can you imagine? Becky Lynch comes back and then it's like a Liv and Dom versus Seth and Becky situation. Or Liv tries to flirt with Seth.
Oh my god! Don't steal the man, bro.
Okay. Did it make sense this match for Liv to win?
Yeah, I think it did. I think Liv needed. If you're talking about who needs this victory more, I think Liv needed it to establish herself.
I feel like it was a very corporate decision. Because
is.
At the end of the day, we all, and just watching the entire card, I think we understand this is a financial corporate decision to have these two as the figureheads of the Saudi Championship or whatever you want to call it.
Yeah, and don't forget, Nia already had her crowning moment, Queen of the Ring earlier this year. So I think it's fair. I think Nia doesn't need that feather in her cap anymore.
Let's talk about LA Knight, Andrade, and Carmelo Hayes for the United States Championship. Okay, I'll very quickly just say this. I feel like Andrade and Carmelo have had banger matches, but they're just really good matches. Beyond that, people are kind of like meh about them, right? So you inject personality by putting LA Knight in. I feel like that's the formula. Like Andrade, Carmelo, the vibe not really there. You stick on LA Knight. Increase the vibe. What do you guys think?
Yeah, what do you think, Butcherman?
Yeah, so like this match felt like when I play like WWE 2K24 in a triple threat. I hate triple threats because like you hit the finisher already, then after the other guy comes in, you're like,
I can imagine.
It was very fast paced. It was a nice change of pace too, because I think you had a lot of like strong story matches throughout the whole show. So like I think we needed a little bit more just like Michael Bay Transformers action type of thing.
Work rate all the way.
Yeah, I really like all the 1-on-2 type of moves. Like Carmelo hit the code breaker while he did like a kind of like a senton on the other guy. Then he did the suplex cutter. That was great too. Like he went for the head scissors thing, but then like hit the BFT. I was like, oh shit, that's a really good finish. So like I can't tell you what the story of the match was other than like let's just go out there and just like put on a banger.
Put these three guys together. Irvin brings up a very good point. Andrade needs more purpose. Now he's just this intense Mexican guy who doesn't like his mask. Because every time he come out, he wear the mask and he take out.
He angry, then his face angry.
Yeah, that's 100% it, right? Like Carmelo at least still has the whole like, I'm a young up and comer, I want my moment sort of vibe. Yeah, what is Andrade? He's just this Mexican guy who can go in the ring, but like what else? What's his purpose?
I would actually say that this was my second favorite match of the night.
Oh wow, okay.
Yeah. Okay. So because I'm a fan of NXT Black and Gold matches. You know, last time when like Aleister Black versus like Adam Cole, they had all these like crazy banger matches, right? Like, but why I liked it more than in AEW is because like I kind of felt like there is a story that they're trying to tell still weaved into it. So while the work rate will deliver in the ring, the match will deliver, but like that I love the characters, right? So I saw this as like a mix of three great styles, right? Like we have Carmelo Hayes, which is that high flyer, like North American style, and then we have I guess Andrade is a bit more of a heavyweight lucha style. It's not full on flips and stuff, but he's like grounded, got power, but you know, still doing lucha stuff. And then like you have LA Knight, who just I'm gonna punch and kick and gonna be a full on brawler, you know.
Bro,
so kind of
Sorry to sidetrack, but when you said lucha stuff,
you thought of hey Samura Delso, you know, I like
know,
him. Interview him, love that guy.
We love that guy, but when you said do a lucha stuff, that's all I could think of, bro.
Lucha thing.
Hey,
I want to say hi to Mighty who just joined the chat. What's up, Mighty?
What's up? Mighty has a very interesting match coming up at Crowning Glory as well, which we will talk about in just a few moments.
Yeah.
All right, Butchman, did you think this was the right decision? I mean,
keeping the title.
It kind of was the only decision, right?
Yeah, like I think like when he won the championship against Logan, I was like, yeah, like the timing is like perfect, and I don't see anybody else like taking the title away from him unless it's like a very like personal feud. If it's like a let's just have a match because we have no one else to put you against. Nah, it works. But if it's like I don't know, like maybe if like Logan Paul wants to feud with LA Knight again, they can kind of do the title switch then. But like anybody else taking it away from him.
I want LA Knight to have a very personal, intense feud with someone who can match it in the ring, or at least
on the
compliment him on the mic.
Yeah.
So when I say that, it's like, okay, if you want someone who can talk, then it's like really like the Miz versus LA Knight. They just talk to each other. But imagine somebody like an Aleister Black, somebody who's more vibes, like there's a bit more cerebral in the way he responds to LA Knight.
Okay.
So I would like that, but I do not know who can fit that character on SmackDown at this point in time. Unless, I mean, I do not know lah. Karrion Kross hasn't been rehabilitated yet. But can you imagine a Karrion Kross with his vibes, you know, going against LA Knight, doing mind games to him? I think that could be really cool.
Yeah. Also, Karrion Kross is on Raw, but I get your point. You know, like LA Knight does all the talking. Karrion just says one or two words and just be menacing.
So actually, right, even though the eventual match sucked, right, I actually really like Bray Wyatt and LA Knight.
Oh yeah,
the build up to it. I thought it was pretty like, ooh, okay.
Oh, for sure. Yeah. Irvin says Andrade versus Dom. Who is the real puppy? Hey, stop it, stop it. Okay, I think we skipped one match because the match didn't actually happen because it was thrown out.
Yes.
Let's talk about Kevin Owens versus Randy Orton.
Oh man, Kevin Owens, he's very poor thing. Actually, I feel for him a lot. I really feel for him.
I think that's the whole point, right? To make it so that, like, he's the villain, but he's justified in what he's doing because, Cody sided with Roman after Kevin had his back for years, and then he's like now losing his shit. It makes so much sense.
Yeah, I saw somebody on Twitter had this hilarious thread, right? Like all the indie wrestlers, right? Like their favorite storyline is, why you're not my friend? Why you not become friend with me? Right, because then he did like a comparison thread, right? Okay, so Kevin Owens always lose his friend, always fight for his best friend. And then you have MJF, Adam Cole, also best friend and lose. So it's like all the indie wrestlers have the Young Bucks, friend, no friend.
Best friends, who hugging who. And look, I've heard that discussion as well. And at least, okay, when you watch Randy and Kevin do it, it feels a lot more, I guess the word is professional, or like men feeling betrayed, as opposed to a bunch of boys, you not my friend, I'm your friend. You know what I mean? The vibe is different.
Yeah. And Kevin Owens and Randy's friendship is well established. I mean, even back to Perth Elimination Chamber, I was there, right? I was at the, I think they had like the kickoff, and they were talking about how like they respect each other, you know, they have a lot of respect. So that whole storyline thread of like Kevin Owens always betraying his friend, and then like now he was being loyal to Cody and Randy. I think the heartbreak of him seeing Cody Rhodes going back to the Bloodline, I think really set him over the edge. That is totally understandable logically.
And them sort of running this whole storyline on social media, quote unquote, with the fan footage and not doing it on camera, I think it has been very refreshing. And also it works from, a standpoint of like, hey, this looks legit. Are you looking at Irvin's comment?
I saw.
I see
guess
the
you
tweet.
wanna, I want to ask Butcherman this question. I want his thoughts on this. Who do you think who is better at the victim role, Owens or Drew McIntyre?
Oh man, like that's a tough question. I think Kevin Owens, I have to go with him because like Drew, I think like only recently he started doing the victim role type of thing. But I think Kevin Owens, like in terms of his whole career from like ROH to like NXT to WWE. Yeah, and he always like makes it seem as though like he's in the right, which more often than not, I'm like, yep, I'm on Kevin Owens' side.
Yeah.
Isn't that the mark of a great villain? Because every villain believes that he's the hero in his story, right?
Yeah. He's had 3 great like friendship betrayal storylines. So you have Sami Zayn, which is forever like a classic. You have Chris Jericho, Festival of Friendship. People keep forgetting that was a big thing back in the day.
Yeah.
And then you have this Randy Orton thing as well. Yeah.
Somebody needs to tell him, hey, it happens so many times. Maybe it's not them. Maybe it's you. Maybe it's a you problem.
It's you. It's me. I'm the problem. It's me.
Okay. So obviously this story is not over. So the whole match was basically a setup for something in the future. But essentially, it was jump-started. They started smashing each other outside of the ring. Did you like that this was what went down? So we didn't get a match. Remember we talked about how it was probably going to be a schmoz somehow or a DQ. So that's essentially what we got, right?
Yeah. I don't know, Butcher, I was thinking about this match a lot in terms of how you would, book it. Because like, is this the right way to go about like establishing this feud? Or should they have straight away like ended it? Because eventually the go around is Kevin Owens wants to go back to Cody Rhodes. That's the match that I want to see. So like, should they have like kind of like ended this feud here? Should they have stretched it out? What's your thoughts on that?
Yeah, I expected the like a decisive win. In fact, like I'm not a big fan of like non-decisive wins or like schmozzers, but like I understand like why they did it. Also like side note that I wrote down, like I don't know whether you guys feel the same way, but when Randy RKO'd like Adam Pearce, like it felt more like impactful. I think like previously it was just like, it's a norm to just like attack the general manager, but I think now they like give out fines and shit. So like oh shit, okay, like he's gonna get fined. So like it feels a bit more like purposeful and like like Randy's so pissed off that he just like had to attack him. I was just like I guess hungry for more because like I'm sure that they're probably gonna blow it off in some like no DQ type of situation. Then from there,
True.
Do you find it interesting that he attacked Adam Pearce, who's a Raw GM, as opposed to Nick Aldis, who's a SmackDown GM?
Yeah, actually, like I never really thought of it. Yeah, like I mean, like I expected like both general managers to get RKO. I wonder why it was just Adam Pearce.
Maybe Nick Aldis will get his RKO on SmackDown, when Nick Aldis decides to find him. Look, I love that the GMs actually have some sort of power, that people are quote unquote supposed to fear them a little bit, right? I mean, not to compare, but literally on the other channel, the other promotion, you had the owner get pile driven and then nothing, there's no repercussions whatsoever. So it makes makes the authority figure lack authority. So it okay or whatever lah. So you can get away with anything. You can cripple the dude wore a neck brace for about a week and call the angles. All right, there you go. That's cool, right? Whereas here it's like, it's a big deal. And every time, even when Drew shoved Adam Pearce, like it was a big deal. He was like, oh, you're suspended for the week. So the rules are there for a reason, so that the heels can break them. So it makes an impact. As opposed to if you just break the rules all the time and there's no repercussions whatsoever.
Agree. Mighty was kind of highlighting a potential loophole. He was saying, well, Raw GM cannot find Orton. SmackDown superstar. Okay. I like everyone speculating.
Well, then maybe Nick Aldis, and then so Adam Pearce will start pressuring Nick Aldis to do something about it, and Nick Aldis like, no man, I need my guy, and then that will lead to the Nick Aldis Adam Pearce feud, which we all want to see,
Ooh,
obviously.
Smart. Oh, shout out to Benjamin Chan just joining the chat. He said
What's up?
Randy paid extra for the fine previously, if you remember. I remember this.
Yeah.
And then he said, keep the change because he will get an RKO again. He haven't claimed the RKO yet.
On Nick Aldis, right?
Yes. Or maybe that's the case. That's hilarious.
Yeah. So I mean, if anything, it makes us want to watch what happens on Raw, right? Will Adam Pearce show up in a neck brace? That's the question.
And my last question is, do you guys foresee Kevin Owens eventually going back to Cody Rhodes, potentially winning the title in a shocking manner? A lot of people were talking about they're bringing back Saturday night's main event in December.
Yes, correct.
And that's gonna be a huge deal. And I feel like Cody Rhodes should technically headline that show. And I feel like Cody Rhodes and KO should be the one headlining that show. What do you guys think?
Do you think? Wait, hold on. Do you know if it's a recurring show or if it's a one-off?
No, it's a one-off. It's like a big I don't know where it's Madison Square Garden, but like a big holiday theme show, but Saturday night main event.
I understand. I don't think a title switch should happen. I know you've been pitching for Kevin Owens, but I feel like Cody has reached Cena status. They need him as the figurehead and then the champion.
Yeah.
Because if Kevin Owens wins, like I feel like Randy feels like he goes to the wayside, you know? Yeah. Sorry, you were saying, Butcherman?
Yeah, so like it's interesting you brought up like Saturday main event because like I mean I don't know whether they'll actually do this. It'll be quite cool. But I don't know whether you guys know or remember Hogan when he had like a very like a long ass like title reign. He lost to Andre the Giant.
Yep.
Very like screwy manner, and it was on Saturday's main event.
Yes, $1 million championship, right?
Oh, that one.
Yeah, and then when Andre won, he handed the title over to Ted DiBiase, right?
I mean, like that one was when like the referee was like the twin referee. Then
yes.
Then Hogan was crying. Yeah, but like that's a bit of a sidetrack. But like I mean, if they were to do something like that, they could do it on Saturday main event. But like I just don't see Kevin Owens being like the shock champion. I don't know, like yet. Maybe they might want to build it a bit further, but I still see like I don't know, like Rock versus Cody at WrestleMania, or like Roman versus Cody. I don't really want Roman versus Cody again, but like like I foresee like a bigger WrestleMania match. Like actually, like my like dream match for WrestleMania is probably like Cody and Randy. Yeah.
Oh, I do because of the history, right? I definitely agree. Young, do you see Zayden's comment on the chat?
Survivor Series is in Canada, which could I don't know what that could mean. Kevin Owens.
It's in Vancouver, so I don't know Montreal and Vancouver
Not Montreal.
got link. Yeah, but can you imagine? Yeah, Cody Rhodes and Kevin Owens for the title at Survivor Series in Canada. I wonder who the crowd will cheer for.
I wonder if Cody will put Kevin Owens in a sharpshooter at the end. And then somehow the bell rings and then Kevin says, No, I never tapped out. It's another screw job.
My God.
But different part of Canada, different.
Yeah. Cannot generalize all the Canadian cities and provinces. Yeah.
But okay, then we move on to the main event of the evening. Cody Rhodes versus Gunther for the WWE Crown Jewel Championship.
Very interesting, right? Like we were talking about how can both wrestlers come out looking strong in this match. And I was thinking about it after the result, and I was like a bit disappointed at first, like, oh man, Gunther lost, right?
Yeah.
But then I was thinking, right, this is the best way to keep them both strong because this was a one-off match, an exhibition match. There wasn't any stakes in that sense. So it almost feels like this loss feels more of like easier to sweep under the rug if he had stakes. I don't know. What do you guys think?
I agree with you. And, you know, when you say no stakes, I disagree. The stakes was $50 million. This was the payoff, like to have Cody. And now, in hindsight, I don't know if you guys watched the post show, but they literally had Cody and Liv standing there at the WWE Experience, received the belt, put on the ring. Do you see Cody like try to squeeze the ring onto the finger because like his finger a bit maybe too big, right?
A bit tight, yeah.
And people online say, "Oh, he's never taking that off. He's stuck already." The poor guy, right?
Bro, you know what this reminds me of? Correct me if I'm wrong. This feels like a member of parliament giving like like
a plaque or some sort of
like
medal.
a plaque, like guest of honor. So I really feel all of this was just for show.
No, exactly. Which in hindsight, it's like, oh, okay, this all makes sense. Obviously, they want their big like superhero win, like Cody Rhodes as the champion, as the quote unquote Saudi champion or the Crown Jewel champion. Two blonde white people. That was exactly what I thought of at that press conference. I'm like, Liv and the two whitest, for lack of a better term, people are the representatives. I'm like, I don't know if there's some sort of political statement.
Is there like some subtle messaging?
I don't know. But it would have looked, I don't know, like if you had Nia Jax and Gunther there instead, like it would have not seemed quite as pomp.
Yeah.
Right?
Did you guys see on the kickoff, somebody was making fun of how Triple H was reacting towards the Saudi fans chanting for WrestleMania?
Yeah. It's because the fans were like, WrestleMania, and he's like, yes, WrestleMania is in Vegas, and they boo.
And then everyone in the chat is like, nobody wants WrestleMania in Saudi Arabia yet. Like, there's a whole bunch of other cities that want it more.
You wait until they offer 500 million. They got the oil money, bro.
Okay. As both of you who are married men, can you like explain to people who doesn't understand how much 1 carat of diamonds cost? Because they say it's 50 carats, right? So I'm like thinking, like, isn't 1 carat like thousands of dollars already? I don't know.
Wait, let me Google how much does.
yeah, Google that shit.
I mean, how many carats?
50 carats, bro.
Wow.
God damn. I'm pretty sure it's a 6-figure amount.
Okay, so Google AI has quoted 9.5 million.
Damn.
Are you serious?
Yeah. This is Saudi money. Are you surprised?
50 carats equals to 9.5 million. Are you
Okay,
legit?
no, this is 150 carat diamond. So maybe 150 carat diamond is more expensive than 51 carat diamonds.
Okay, wait. How much 1 carat costs? 1 carat costs.
But it depends on the clarity. This is probably, I mean, to save money, they probably have like low clarity, low whatever lah.
No. I remember they specify it's Australian carat diamond. You got to see the country one, bro.
I don't understand what that means. Like,
I also don't understand.
Does Australia do better diamonds?
Because they mine their diamonds, they also got mining, bro. That's why.
Oh, so they don't want, maybe they want to like the idea of blood diamonds. They want to distance themselves away from that. They're like, oh, our diamonds are legitimately sourced or some shit like that.
Maybe.
Okay, 3K to 10K, mid-range, 1 carat, 3 to 10K.
Okay, so 10 times 50.
50. Well, go ahead.
$500,000 lah.
Yeah, I mean, shit. And then you get other gems, you got the strap. They got the money one.
Aiyo. Okay. So then that's why it's so worth it for them to keep it in Saudi Arabia, bro.
Put it under the, behind the glass case and
You
everything.
you try to transport that in the plane, you try?
That's why they had all these bodyguards with the big case. Did you see? They made it a whole thing.
Yeah, I mean, it's legit lah, so I guess.
Talk about the match itself. We sidetracked. Talk about the belt, the diamonds, all.
Aiyo.
Numbers and stuff. That's where my Malay comes in because I can't count for shit.
Yeah, it's all good, bro. It's all good. I was using calculator all the way. Okay. Let's talk about the match. Okay, Gunther versus Cody Rhodes. Like, I'm a bit annoyed that this match happened here. Because when the 2023 Royal Rumble happened, they were the final two.
Oh, yeah.
In my mind, I was thinking, this should be a future WrestleMania main event. Right? Like, if you build Gunther up to the next level, this can be like this generation's Hogan versus Andre in terms of like the pure babyface, pure heel. But they kind of throw it away in this, like, I would say, throwaway kind of match and stipulation lah, in my opinion. So I don't know. I felt I had a lot of mixed feelings, as if almost I didn't want to see this match yet. So that was my thought going into this match.
I think we should get over the whole it's their first time. It's like, being with somebody for the first time. We put a lot of pressure on it, but we know that the first time is awkward and they need to get it out of the way. You know? So I
okay.
think it's absolutely fine. They can still have a series of matches in the future as long as they don't touch each other for a while, you know, then you can build best of 3 sort of thing and have the third match be, the rubber match be at WrestleMania in the future. So I think it's for what they needed to do here. They did what they did. Of course, you know, we referenced the Harts earlier. The finish was very reminiscent of a certain Bret Hart and Rowdy Piper finish. Even Corey Grace brought it up, right?
Yeah, I loved it so much. What do you think, Butcherman, of like the overall layout of the match?
Well, I'm so happy that you guys mentioned like Bret Hart, Roddy Piper, because I was like, that's the first thing that popped out in my mind. I was
Yes.
like, okay, that's the finish. And if you notice, like especially baby faces, if they don't hit their finishers, it's either the finish of like Bret Hart, Roddy Piper, or is the one with Bret Hart and Bulldog. So like for a sunset flip, then they counter it into like a pin. Like
Yep.
they'll always go for that type of finish, and I
Yeah.
always opt for that finish.
And wasn't this the whole storyline of the match anyway? Like even in the pre-show and leading up to it, the whole time Gunther was, I'm going to choke you out. He called his shot. They make a big deal about him calling his shot. So you could say that, oh, Cody knew exactly what he was going to go for. So he studied the finisher reversal or found a way out of it, right?
Yeah. Another interesting thing is like I like the fact that the finishers, their individual finishers couldn't finish off the match.
Yep.
And like it's about like Cody kind of having to pulling something out of his bag to kind of outsmart Gunther. Because to me, that's the only way you should beat Gunther. It's not pure, I defeat you handily, emphatically. You need to like, oh man, I survived Gunther by doing something smart. So I like that. What do you guys think of Gunther kind of graciously accepting the defeat and shaking hands? Butcherman.
I wouldn't have gone for that. Like I think they kind of did with the Randy Orton match at Berlin too. But that one made, because it's like, okay, his hometown and he's kind of like the default babyface-ish type of thing. But like here it's like I don't know, I just love like very heel Kong Haja, like
kurang ajar ya. Like he's so annoyed by his loss that he just like F you lah, just slap his hand away or something like that, right?
But then again though, like maybe it has a purpose in the future. So if it does, then yeah, like I'm quite excited to see what goes on from there. Just one thing I want to mention though, I think like for you can appreciate this. So a lot of times when people do like the sleeper hole, like they do it wrongly in wrestling. Like so, okay, maybe I'll just get this.
Oh my god.
Do we have
we have a live demonstration. Live
of a
demonstration of
sleeper.
sleeper
Nice.
hole. Okay.
So
Oh my god, I love
so like a lot of them do it like this. So like the other hand is like here at the forehead for some reason. And then the other guy can actually just like pry the hands open. But if you know from jiu-jitsu, right, it's actually like at the back of the neck.
Yes.
Do that. I was like, yeah, that's the way.
Yeah. You know who is the worst at performing an MMA move and making it look super fake?
Who?
It's ironic, but it's Ronda Rousey. Ronda Rousey has the worst fake armbar that she does in WWE. You know, right?
Yeah.
Because if you guys, I mean, Young knows that, right? If you do an armbar, it's you kind of have to straighten the
elbow.
hand, right?
Yeah.
But she does it like that, and then she just pretend to wrench it.
I mean,
okay.
That's what we've talked about this before. It's very hard to adapt MMA moves. Only very few people can do it well, because especially with strikes. But also, if you know anything about like jiu-jitsu, a lot of it looks weird, and like he's not out trying to break him. You know, it is what it is.
Yeah, I guess. Young, remember previous episode we were speculating wildly about like what if Goldberg appears.
Okay, you know what? It was great. There was no schmoz, and I'm pretty sure the reason there was a handshake at the end, once again, it's a corporate decision. There's much honor and grace in the main event. You know, everyone shake hand. It was a properly contested fight because they wanted to do the whole thing for Saudi lah. You know, it is what it is lah. To me was what it felt like.
Yeah, I was paying very close attention to Goldberg's presence on social media. I was thinking like, won't he? So I found out that before this Crown Jewel, he was actually in apparently like a football game, a college football game in Atlanta. And actually he announced, this actually made some news. He announced that he will have his official retirement match next year. He has already agreed terms with Triple H and Nick Khan and all that kind of stuff. So my worry is that he's going to have like a WrestleMania match with Gunther.
I mean, okay,
Will he?
He still has a name. Look, at the end of the day, I think that him laying down for Gunther is good for Gunther. So maybe the dream match that we all want for Gunther won't be this upcoming WrestleMania. Maybe it'll be at WrestleMania 42, and that's fine. I think it's okay for him to have a very long reign. What if he has like a Roman Reigns-esque reign? Why not?
Yeah, I'm okay with that. But like my question is, how many seconds is it going to be? Because I don't want it to be more than 10 seconds.
Goldberg comes in, Gunther chops him in the face, Goldberg die. That's it.
Yeah, because I feel like the only way this can be salvaged is Goldberg did what Brock Lesnar did for him.
Oh, yeah.
Which is like a shocking, like multiple finisher loss.
Bro, how cool would it be? And this, we have precedents. Because remember, Gunther said that his favorite wrestler, or second favorite wrestler was Bret Hart, right? I want to see the metal chest plate spot.
Oh my God.
Gunther wear the chest plate inside, and then Goldberg goes for the spear and knocks himself out.
Oh my God, that's hilarious. Yeah. So okay, if that is what happens and that is the retirement match, quote unquote, I can accept it. But if anything more, I mean it's like a waste of Gunther.
Sure. I noticed that we didn't actually talk about the match itself. So I enjoyed the match tremendously. I think Cody Rhodes has more than proven himself as the workhorse champion, with that quote unquote John Cena schedule that he talks about. My two favorite matches, Seth and Bronson, Cody and Gunther.
Yeah, my favorite match again, actually is this match, Gunther and Cody. And second, I mentioned, which was apparently a surprise to people, the triple threat. I actually really enjoyed the triple threat match. What about you, Butcherman?
Bloodline versus Bloodline. That was like, to me, like
cinema.
Really, really
like, cinema.
As usual. Yeah, I mean, as I mentioned earlier, like it was like a wet dream match for me because I love Samoan wrestlers.
Yeah. Okay. Everybody share your rating or like grades, like letter grades out of 10 for Crown Jewel in general. I want to hear all your thoughts as well. But for me, I think this was like a solid 7. I wouldn't say it's like the best Crown Jewel I've ever seen.
Yeah.
I also wouldn't say that it was a boring paper. I think every match had, like you said, stakes. There was a purpose, and there are some great fallout that can go into the next couple of weeks, right? You got Sami Zayn, you got what happens with Gunther, Cody Rhodes, KO, Randy. So I feel like there's purpose that it wasn't like, like I was watching it with a blind eye. So it's 7 for me. What do you guys think?
I would give it a 7.5. I feel like a lot of it was, it feels like the midway point of a really good series, where it's a bit of a lull. You're just sort of doing storyline progression as opposed to big shocking things happening, right? And everyone played their role perfectly. I think that, like I said earlier, to me, I don't know why this one, it really stood out to me. Every match had a simple to understand story that I could explain it to you in 1 or 2 sentences. And that's why, to me, I enjoyed this PLE.
Great. I love it. What about you, Butcherman?
Well, I'm very bad at giving numbers, but like
okay, how about alphabet grade?
I think in terms of like progressing stories and like what's gonna happen next, there's a lot of that from this show. So okay, if I were to give it a number, I would say like a 7. Like it's strong. I think the way the whole card was like paced was quite okay. But I'm a bit like torn because I feel like Bloodline should have been main event. But like, but Cody versus Gunther also was very good.
Yeah, we all agree this was definitely a corporate decision by the Saudis. They gotta make their Crown Jewel Championship the main event, so that's why.
Hey, they made the best out of a corporate opportunity. So from a corporate standpoint, I can give them props for that. Irving says 6.9. Okay,
very specific.
The internet's favorite number, 6 and 9.
Yeah.
Okay.
Alfred with an A-. Wow, good high praise. As a marketing guy, right, I feel like this was the result of a bunch of marketing people from WWE and the Saudi government sitting down. It's like, okay, there's this anniversary that's happening in Saudi Arabia. We want to commemorate it. How best can we input storylines into it? Then Triple H was like, I know the answer. Let's do a champion versus champion match.
Look, here's the thing. We've seen stuff like this before, but done poorly. And then it's super obvious they are like trying to force agendas or narratives down your throat, right? In this way, I feel like Triple H has the best of both worlds. Like, it's probably not just Triple H, it's him and his team, the people at TKO, right? Them coming together is, all right, let's do a product that's still faithful to the wrestling product, but also serves our corporate needs. So kudos to them for them to for pulling it off.
Yeah, I love that it's canon. I remember the days when Saudi Arabia shows weren't canon. It's just pure
House show. It was just a very
House show.
expensive house show. Yeah. Back in the day.
I think all the Saudi Arabians saw through it, lah. So yeah.
Yeah. Okay, we are gonna jump into SPW's big event
Finally.
that's happening on Friday. It's so many championships on the line. We're talking about SPW Crowning Glory. But before we get there, though, everybody once again in chat, good to see you. Let's talk a bit about our sponsor right now. Hang on. There you go, Hasif.
Woo! Okay, so if you guys are unaware, Hasif is our financial advisor, independent financial advisor. So if you're looking for a second opinion on your financial portfolio, he's your go-to guy. He's also into fitness, entrepreneurship, and he's also he's actually the founder of Katoshka, a pretty well-known russet fries business. If you've been to bazaars, you've seen it around. So, bro, please follow him on his Instagram, check him out, and if you ever need some advice or some free tea, go link it up with him.
Is there such a thing as free lunch with Hasif? Absolutely. Just click on the Google form right there. Hey, the first time is all about them vibes, okay? In the meantime, yes, let's get to something that's very exciting that's happening on Friday. I can't wait. By the way, I'm finally free to be there on a Friday because I'm actually on leave next week. So yes.
Finally! Wait, I got to ask on the chat. Who else got tickets? Who else needs tickets?
If you don't have tickets, what are you doing with your life? Come on, you call yourself a wrestling fan. We want to see you there, okay? Tickets are still available. But yes, we have that Butcherman, of course, here to run through the card with us. Talk to us a little bit about some of the, the quote-unquote circumstances that have led to some of these matches. And then, of course, we're going to talk about the big main event that's happening. But before we get there, talk to us about the anniversary, 12 years of SPW. If you could put all those 12 years together and then distill it into, I don't know, a thing, what would be that thing that really stands out to you in 12 years?
If I were to put it into like one word, I think it's resilient. We have gone through like quite a lot in the 12 years. I joined in 2014, so that is what, like 10 years of SPW. And I seen all the ups and downs, like from like the highest of highs, we had like Pete Dunne and Kenny Omega come over to like the COVID period, and so yeah, I think like the fact that we have lasted for 12 years is like really cool. Of course, being around for like so long for those 12 years, like I just hope that we get bigger in terms of like, exposure and like people knowing that we exist, because I think like just in general, like the Singapore wrestling scene is not as big as it should be. Yeah, and I think like all other companies in Singapore is like doing very well to upkeep. So I think actually like not only is it like a celebration of like SPW, I think it's just like celebration of Singapore wrestling in general. Yeah.
It's crazy it's crazy to think, because you guys were saying your 12 years, right? And then I was just kind of reflecting, Kick to the Gut has been around for 6 years. So like half of that time we've been covering you guys. How does it feel to see the growth of like the industry, not just SPW as a promotion, but like just the growth of Singapore wrestling? Because I just feel that while there has been 2 steps back sometimes, but it keeps growing in its own organic way as well.
Yeah, and it's great that I'm a part of this like growth, because like you see like new people come in and then just they give like new like fresh ideas, and they give like new perspective on things. So like when I remember like the first time like you guys came about and make like Kick to the Gut a thing, I was like, yeah, like finally like we get to share our stories on your podcast. We get to know what like you guys think about our product, because like I think before you guys there wasn't really that much of a like strong like voice for like pro wrestling, and now you guys have like like Lion City, like wrestling cult.
Shout out to Nina as well.
Yeah, like big shout out to Nina. Sure. Yeah, so like not only like the growth inside like the wrestling promotions, but in terms of the community, it's like really nice to see because we feel like our work is like validated. Yeah, like I'm all for it.
Love it.
Very quickly, I want to jump in on this because Mason is in the chat and Mason says, "Wear shirt lah."
Oh, yo.
Okay, do you want to have any response to that?
No.
No. Very nice.
We
Brush it off.
shall save it. We shall save it for when we talk about your match. For
Well,
sure.
I mean, we slide into the first match that we'll talk about here then. How about this? Blade and CK Vin versus the Midnight Bastards versus Jack and Cheese. This is for the SPW Tag Team Championship #1 contenders match. I mean, you see the title right there on your shoulder there, Butcherman. Talk to us about this match.
Yeah, so like I've wrestled Jack and Cheese before. The past show wrestled the Midnight Bastards, so I know how tough these two teams are.
Yep.
I've wrestled CK Vin before. I mean, I think you guys remember the feud that we had.
Yeah.
So I know that he can be a dangerous person. Bryson Blade, I've seen his work and I know how dangerous he can be. I feel I'm gonna give Jack and Cheese the vote of confidence.
I see.
I mean, they're fan favorites. I think they are gonna get like the energy from the crowd to rile them up to victory. Midnight Bastards, they definitely are a formidable team. Like wrestling them in a hardcore match. In fact, I don't know whether you guys actually realize this. At Hardcore Island 2, the Midnight Bastards wrestled in like their first ever main event, and like they wrestled maybe like 3-4 shows. So like, even though like our team like whooped their ass, but like they still put on a good effort. I mean, like Mason just like beat the shit out of me with like chairs, like RJ like, a low blow. Like they're tough guys. Like but yeah, I'll go for Jack and Cheese, unless maybe Blade and Vin can, you know, connive their way into victory. Which I'm sure they can, but yeah, I'm rooting for Jack and Cheese.
Very interestingly, Alfred was talking about Jack and Cheese promo, and bro, when I switched on my Instagram, I remember there was one night I was switching it on, and then it came out very loudly. Harder, Jack, harder. I'm like, wait, what? Wait. I need to like
Sus, bro.
Very sus, bro. Very sus. But yes, I love that promo. But yeah. Talk to me about like Jack and Cheese's growth, because they've been kind of a bit of a fan favorite, you know, through the year, especially getting in support.
For sure. So like I don't know whether you guys know this, but they came about at Graveyard Shift. So this is Dr. Gore's show that he held at the Peace Center.
Yep.
Yes.
So I think the match was supposed to be me and CBK, then Dr. Gore versus Jack. If I remember correctly. But I injured my knee at so I was out at that show. So they switched the card around. It became BJJ and CBK. That was how like that team was born.
I see.
Yeah, I feel like there's something about them that just like clicks instant. I wish you guys were there for Graveyard Shift, because they were just really like super popular for that show. I think like BJJ, like he had like a pretty decent like singles run, but I think he's like hitting his stride in the tag team division. I mean, he started off as a tag team wrestler with like the Mighty Dragon family before.
Yes.
So yeah, and CBK. Okay, like I need to give my props to CBK. This guy started off as like a potential like a joke of a character. Now he's like super popular. Were you guys there for that show last year at Merciless?
SPW Merciless. Yeah, I think I was there. I was there.
So like in that match, basically it was like Wolfram Cartel versus Blade and Trickster. Then like Vin joined in, so it's gonna be like a 3-on-2 situation. But then like the lights went off. Then CBK like appeared in the middle of the ring, and the crowd went ballistic. I was like, "Yup, like that's my guy."
The crowd popped for him. The crowd pops for him for everything he does. Like I think people gets it. The moment his name comes out, okay, we get the joke. But then when he performs in the ring, bro is super athletic, man. I definitely have to give props for him as well.
Yeah, and his charisma is off the charts because like I think he was trying to go for like the villainous route at first, but then I think he's just too much of a personality for people to just like they want to cheer this guy.
Yeah, I like your point about like BGJ probably flourishing in the tag team division. As somebody who is gunning for the singles title but also a tag team champion, I think you're the best positioned person to kind of comment on this. What do you think is what is the mindset switch when you are a tag team wrestler as opposed to being a singles person?
Yeah, so I feel that like if you're a tag team like wrestler, you kind of like depend a lot on your partner. I mean, of course, yes, it's a 50-50 thing, there's teamwork. So like whenever you're in trouble, you have a partner to go to. But like if you're a singles competitor, it's all you.
Yep.
So like you really need to find, like, lack of a better term, a tag team partner in yourself. So your tag team partner is basically your fighting spirit, your heart, your resiliency. So like yeah, like okay, if you think about it, like if you guys like take a look at matches, basically you have like the part where the hero does the comeback, right?
Yep.
So normally in tag team matches, when you tag your partner for the hot tag, that's the comeback. But like for the singles wrestler, you have to like take all the damage and you're like, okay, I really, really need to dig deep just to just like beat the shit out of the your yeah.
So I mean, it's interesting you say that because we very well know that, and not to jump to the main event, but we very well know that two people in this contenders match, right, the Midnight Bastards, they're going to be there with the statement during your match. Like, so it's not strictly going to be 1v1, right? So there is a bit of a through line here because not only are they gunning for the number one contendership for your tag team titles, but they're also probably going to be at ringside with Statement. What are your thoughts on that?
So I'm just gonna issue out a challenge to Statement now. If you are man enough, you don't bring Midnight Bastards to the ring. And if you don't, I won't bring Dr. God to the ring. So let's just do this one-on-one. Like I think we have had enough history to respect each other that we don't bring out our respective team members.
Interesting.
If you consider yourself the best and repeat how many times you've won the Southeast Asian champion, all this, like I think you better man up and just go at it alone.
I love it.
Yes.
I love it.
The gauntlet has been thrown. Are we overlooking Blade and CK Vin? Okay. A bit. There's one thing I want to say too. Isn't CK Vin still in possession of that Singapore Championship title shot chair, or has that been resolved already?
No, he's still the contender. So he beat E-Man,
correct,
to kind of solidify himself as the contender because he put the contendership on the line. So I know how dangerous CK Vin can be. There was a period of time where I trusted him as a friend. And that was like a really big mistake because he really like capitalized on that opportunity. And we were talking about like Bronson Reed and Seth Rollins earlier, right?
Yeah.
That was his ticket to the main event. Like he saw the opportunity to, like I'm just gonna go and like take the Butcherman spot. And I respect him for that. Like he really tried everything he could. But in the end, of course, I whooped him lah. But
so wait, do you think that he's spreading himself too thin right now because he's gunning for the tag team titles, but he also has the Singapore Championship in his sight? So it feels like okay.
I think he's like leaving his options open. Like he knowing him lah, because like even though yes, our friendship was in the end like fake, like I did get to see his like mindset on a lot of things. So I think like he has something up his sleeve. I don't know what it is, but I'm quite sure that he has like some like dirty trick lah. And also like Tyson Blade, like his rage and his lack of a better term, like his like emo-ness. Like,
okay.
It seems like rather like annoying and distracting at times, but do you guys like really like pay attention to his like kicks and like his strikes.
Mm.
He is I think he's like a former like taekwondo like student.
Oh, okay.
So like I feel that with these two combining forces with like Brain and then like Bryce's like raw talent, like I
Yep.
think like they're gonna really have to like play as dirty as they can to beat these two, because these two teams are quite formidable. But like
Yeah.
if they play it smart, I think we might have a chance. But going to my original point, Jack and Cheese all the way.
I love it. And also I feel like the great thing about this match is everyone has some sort of layers of storytelling beyond this match. Like even though this match can exist in its own vacuum, everyone has like secondary objectives,
Yep.
you know. So I really like this being the opener. I think that can set the tone for the rest of the match, and I'm pretty sure it's gonna be a banger as well.
Well, if it is, can't's always subject to change, right? You know, talking about the SPW Championship, there is the SPW Singapore Championship, excuse me. There's going to be a four-way. Interestingly enough, Black Arrow, the champion, versus Dr. Gore, your good friend, versus Ho Ho Loon versus Carlo Cannon. So talk to us about that. And yeah, I find it very interesting that, you know, CK Vin is holding that contract so close to his chest for so long. Like, I'm like, oh, will he cash in here? I don't know. But yes, talk to us about this match.
Okay, so I have quite a personal attachment to all four.
Yeah,
Like,
can imagine.
So Black Arrow. I think my best match ever so far was the match that I had at the 10-year anniversary. So that was
2 years ago.
Big T, who is right now Mighty,
Yeah.
and Black Arrow. So
was that at the Far East Square, that one?
No, that was.
Is it the astronomical anyway?
Yes. That was anniversary.
Right.
So like at the Far East Square place, that I pinned Black Arrow to become the Singapore champion.
Correct.
Yes, we remember
Then
that.
I became champion for like 3 years. Then Black Arrow beat me. So it's kind of like a full circle thing.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Almost got that Roman Reigns record. Almost, bro. Almost. A bit more.
But yeah, like that match was really cool because especially when it was just me and Arrow, like because we eliminated Big T. So it was me and Arrow, and the crowd was split, and I never heard that type of reaction for my match ever. Like one half was like, let's go Arrow, one half was like, let's go Butcher, and it was just like dueling chants the whole way.
I love it.
I even like pulled off like a coast to coast, like my first ever top rope move ever. Like
awesome.
try to beat him, but like in the end he beat me, and I think I did mention this after that match. I said like, you know, he recovered from cancer, and the fact that he recovered from cancer and also beat me, like, man, like who other like there's no one else that can like you know, be deserving of this championship. So yeah, I'm quite proud of his reign. I mean, Dr. Gore, I mean, of course, needless to say, he's been my partner, and he's the guy that allowed me to like speak English like right now, because like wear these glasses is because he's educated, so I'm able to speak English.
I love it.
Like, you know, we're the current like tag team champions, and I hope that at the end of Crowning Glory, we walk out as double champions. Like basically, if like Dr. Gore wins the Singapore Championship, then we're like we're gonna hold like all the titles. Yeah, except for the 24/7 championship. Yeah.
all right. I love it as well. And what do you think of like Dr. Gore's like also he also had a very, you know, emotional return from a big long-term injury, and then like you guys reunited, and then now it's almost as if like you guys have each other's blessing to pursue singles titles. How does he feel about you being a contender for the SPW Association Championship and him going after the Singapore Championship?
Yeah, I think like okay, so I don't really want to break up the horrors at all. I think that's like, of course, like what everybody wants to see, like, oh, like the two partners like facing off with each other. But I think we respect each other enough to where whatever goals we want in terms of like individual goals, like we'll just go and get it. And in the end, we'll know that we will still be a strong unit. This is one thing I haven't shared on the podcast before, but do you guys know that Dr. Gore was my favorite SPW wrestler when I was a fan? Like I don't know whether
Wow.
you know
Is
this.
it?
I didn't know. Yeah.
There were like a few promos that SPW were releasing at that point. So of course I saw like Understatement, then GST, like Dave and Greg.
Greg. Yeah.
But Dr. Gore just like stood out to me like as like, oh shit, okay, like you can actually have a strong character wrestler on SPW. So okay, like that's really, really cool. So to watch that promo and to actually become tag team champions with him is really, really cool.
It's so interesting because a lot of people forget that Dr. Gore actually predated you joining SPW, because I think they've seen you guys as the Horrors for so long that actually he was a bit of like, was he like your mentor or like your first trainer? Is that how you guys got together?
Yeah. So like he is one of my trainers for sure. Because actually I was going to segue into like who were my first two trainers ever. It's actually the Statement and a person that's also in this match, Ho Ho Lun.
Oh.
Wow. Okay.
Yes.
Okay. And we love Ho Ho Lun here. I mean, he's been on the podcast. We know him from WWE as well. Like, talk to us about Ho Ho Lun's impact in your career.
Yeah, so like Ho Ho, I wasn't like initially like too close to him because like he was more in the main event of like SPW, so like I didn't really had the chance to like talk to him other than those like seminars that he would conduct. But I think like Ho Ho Lun in this match, he is kind of like the dark horse in a way, because you have like an athletic specimen like Black Arrow, you have Dr. Gore, who is like tall, he has like the physical gifts. You have Carlo Cannon, who is just like a tank of a man. Then you have one
Ho there.
but because he is so like smart in what he does, or how he wrestles, he might have a chance to actually sneak away the title. But then again, though, like all three guys need to contend with, like how I mentioned, the tank of a man, which is Carlo Cannon. And Carlo Cannon, just to kind of pull back the curtains just a little, I attend his like online training sessions every week. I've learned a lot from him. If you guys don't know, I'm sure you guys do, but like he was trained by Lance Storm.
Wow. Yeah, that's great.
So like, and he's like a 20-year veteran. I appreciate that you guys like called me a veteran, but I really don't consider myself a veteran because if you compare like a person who wrestles like regularly, maybe in like America or Japan, I would consider them like veterans. But like for me, like even though it's been like 8 years as a wrestler, I think I've only wrestled like definitely less than 100 matches. So like basically back to my point, like Carlo Cannon is like a definition of like a veteran for me lah. So yeah, like I think in this match, I'm gonna root for Dr. Gore for sure. Because I want that moment for the Horrors, but
I love it. Yeah.
Oh man, like you got a lot of like guys that are gonna be a good potential candidate for the next champion.
That's exactly what I was thinking. Like this one is going to be the hardest to call because everybody here is legit. Like you have 4 people who are legit, right? And of course, Black Arrow, the champion himself. So yeah, this is absolutely one that's going to be one to catch.
Yeah, I'm definitely feel like this is like one of the most star-studded cards, and especially this match is like, whoa, headliner. If you know anything about local regional wrestling, you can appreciate all their history as well. Speaking of OG stuff, can we just quickly sidetrack? Irvin was asking, maybe one day somebody should talk about early wrestlers in SPW like Darkness, JD, and Tiberian. Does these names ring a bell?
Okay,
to you, Butcherman?
You know what? Somebody we need like a Shane McMahon or some sort of a Tony Khan money guy to fund us. We can make the documentary. Imagine the document, like every one of these guys and gals who may have come into the industry super early, maybe they're not doing it anymore. Like some of these people, like Tiberian, I feel like I've watched one match. I have no idea who are Darkness and JD.
Yeah. So Darkness JD is actually Dr. Gore's like first tag team partner.
Oh,
Wow. This is like, bro, deep cuts, bro. Deep cuts.
yeah, exactly, right? So,
I'll add in a few more names. Solid Shake. Then there's
Ooh.
also Hayes Eric. Yeah, like
Oh,
I am
shit. I remember.
I'm an SPW historian lah, so I definitely know all these names. In fact, like I mean, for those who don't know, I'm actually a first aid trainer.
Yes.
So the funny thing was like I was just like setting up my class.
Mm.
Then like from a distance I saw like someone very familiar. I was like, wait a minute, is that, oh shit, that's JD. Shit.
Wow, what the
Like
odds?
the former Dr. Gore partner and the current.
right.
I love it.
For a moment.
Alfred is asking, who is Tiberian? Can you give a quick intro of Tiberian? What was he all about?
He's like a barbarian, but Thai. That's what I got from like seeing him once.
I remember he was a bit of a Muay Thai looking, dressed
Yeah.
up kind of guy.
Muay Thai looking wrestler. Then like the only thing Muay Thai about him was his kicks. He would do like top rope moves and then like
Okay, this is definitely a documentary we need to consider making. I think
God
there's a lot of interest.
damn. Oh
in
my
that.
God. I this name rings a bell. Irvin was saying Arsenal Afi.
oh man. The
Was he a
man.
fan of Arsenal or what?
No, okay. I think I let Butcherman explain.
I think it's not because of like the football club, but like I think he has a
In
lot
Arsenal.
of move in his Arsenal.
Oh,
Get you.
Yeah,
There
I
we
mean,
go.
and then, like so just to share like a short story, there was this match. This was like the Horror's debut. So it was Dr. Gore, myself, and Zero, who turned out to be Dave Vindictus, who is now Big Dave.
Yes.
So like, we were a team, and then it was Aiden Rex, MK, and Afko. So there was this particular part in the match where we're just doing dives. It was a very like Dragon Gate, balls to the wall type of match. So
Gotcha.
we did our respective dives. Then Afi was the last person, and when we planned the match, Afi told us, yeah, I'm just gonna do a crossbody. So we're just like waiting for him lah. Then we look at him. He's standing on the top rope. Then apparently this is what I didn't know until like after the match. Black Arrow in the crowd was like, shooting star.
Okay.
And bro, like Afi did a shooting star press right on the spot.
What?
Why the hell?
Oh my God. Okay.
Like, in my mind, I was looking at him like, oh, he's doing a shooting boom. Like,
Oh no. Okay, this is a documentary that definitely needs to happen. And,
so I mean, Afi is the man. Like Afi is the man. If you ask any of the SPW wrestlers, in fact, if you ask like Greg or Dave, yeah, they will attest.
Yeah.
Okay, let's move on to the next match then. And I just want to know one thing: who did Ricky Malik piss off? that he's got a match with Destroyer Dharma.
Oh dear, poor fella.
And is Cantona still his like guy? Where's Cantona?
Okay, so just to bring you guys up to speed, were you guys there for the previous show, the Hardcore Island show?
I was there.
Yeah,
I was there.
Foreign was
Yeah.
there.
I don't know whether you guys caught this, but there was one section of the crowd. This crowd member was just like really like pissing the shit out of like Ricky Malik and Cantona.
Yes, I was. I remember it. Yeah.
Like I mean like I think we probably need to put another post on the SPW page to like not do such things to the wrestlers, because like this like threw water on Cantona and Ricky Malik. So Cantona of course was like really angry, and he just like kick the shit out of the fan.
Oh my God.
He shoved
him.
This legitimately happened, right? The fan was legitimately doing that, right?
Yeah.
So I mean like I mean, in my opinion, I feel that Cantona and Ricky wasn't at fault, but like we also don't want like our wrestlers to react that way. So unfortunately, it was suspended lah.
Okay, I see.
I see. So Cantona was suspended. I know Ricky kind of didn't do anything physically to the fan.
No.
Yeah. So I saw that happen, and then, to be honest, when the shit happened, I really was not to quote Tony Khan, but I really feared for Ricky Malik's life. Like I was just worried some shit would go down and like if
Right.
Cantona is distracted in another fan might do something else to Ricky. So that was my fear. Yeah. So I guess that explains why Cantona won't so-called feature in this card lah.
So then once again, who did Ricky Malik piss off to draw Destroyer Dama?
I think he pissed off Destroyer Dama.
I mean, okay. Give a reason why Ricky might even actually pull this off.
Oof. Well, he probably needs to pay the referee a lot of money.
For sure.
Do like some sort of like screw job. So that just like grab a headlock and then the referee just calls the bell right away.
Right.
Yeah. My God. And of course, freaking like Dharma just came back from competing as well. So the guy is like one in his best shape, you know, as in a long time as well. So like even better than he usually is. So like in what universe can Ricky Malik like survive like realistically beyond the referee shenanigans? Do you think he has any chance in his arsenal that he can do?
I'll root for Ricky Malik because I think you guys know my feelings towards Destroyer Dama. I think like the acid better.
Yep.
Because personally I just don't like him. But like
I remember the CCTV footage. I remember that.
I know the streets won't forget.
No, the
yes,
the gym footage. Yes, I remember that.
Can I also say like that thing, the fact that it went viral and a lot of people like it went on Mothership and all that. Like I think that was like to me an awesome example of like if you market and build your match well, like other people will earn media. That's what the marketing people will say. Earn media, yeah.
And that was during a time when like we were actually friends. But like 2022, like basically like things went down and like the match that we had post-COVID, that was like strictly professional.
I see.
Oh, no, by the way, we are live and you Butcherman, you're getting called out in the comment section. Mason says, confirm Butcher scared. That's why don't want us at ringside. So that's Mason. Okay, we have any message for the Juicy Boys before your title defense at My PW Champions Quest? Oh, okay. So yeah, you got it coming from multiple angles here, bro.
Okay, so for Mason, just simply say no, I'm not scared lah.
Okay, for sure.
If you guys do show up, that means that statement is scared of me lah.
Hey, you just be very grateful, Mason and the rest of you guys, that Butcherman hasn't taken off his glasses yet. Because the answer might be, now we got civil Butcherman right now, you know?
Yeah. Now this one, civil education.
With my kick to the gut fam.
Yeah. Because we are not fluent in butcheries or tongai, so we cannot translate later. Then I feel like, hey, what's going on? Lost in translation.
Yeah, and also I want to thank everyone because we are like 2 hours deep into the podcast. We still have like 16 people like following through. So definitely appreciate you guys. And also Zayden said, wouldn't the ref be too scared to piss off Dharma as well? Yes, that's also a legitimate point. Yeah, fair point.
Respect the ref's authority. All right, let's move on from Ricky Malik's destruction. I mean, the match. Okay, there's a 24/7 championship match. Yes, Battle Royale. So talking about refs, referee Ryan, I guess he's just Ryan now. He's no longer a referee in this circumstance here. So okay, we got quite a few people involved in this match. Trickster, Iman, Riz, Mighty, who's in chat right now. Big shout out. Meta, Ryan, and I always mispronounce this fella's name. Is it Sain RH?
Sain RH, yeah.
Sain? Yeah, okay, Sain RH, yeah.
Like Sami Zayn, Sain, okay.
Sain, okay, yeah.
Tell us about this 24/7 championship. I mean, since its inception, it has a couple of names, NBCB, and then went to 24/7. Like, where do you see this in terms of like the hierarchy of titles in SPW, and what does it do for a wrestler to win this title?
So I think like this is just me being like an Attitude Era fan type of thing, but like I want the 24/7 championship to become like the hardcore championship, to be honest.
Yeah, I love it.
If you're able to do something like that, I would like definitely want to go for that title. I think it's just a good stepping stone for those who still haven't found their footing yet in SPW, and like just something to at least hold to know that I have to defend this championship like 24/7. So I'm ready to take in all comers, because really as a wrestler, you should be taking in all comers when you're first starting out. Yeah.
Who is the current champion right now? 24/7? Mighty, right? Yes, I recall. And the 24/7 rules still apply. So in the context of this match, does how does it work in the ring and beyond the match?
So I'm going to give like a kick to the gut exclusive like right now.
Okay, appreciate
because
it.
I have my ear on the ground and I hear what like the management is saying. So this match will be contested under Battle Royal rules, but the last two competitors will be a pinfall submission.
Okay. I like that. Well, then Mighty we have a lot of advantage because he can throw a lot of people out.
Yeah. Then all the just do his sit on him and then done.
Oh dear God.
But just like with every sort of battle royal we've seen, right? Usually the big guy gets targeted first because you want to eliminate the biggest threat in the ring, right? So yeah, being the biggest guy might not be the best position in a match like this.
Can I also just say Mighty in the chat is feeling a bit sassy because he say, "Hello, both of you, stop it, eh?" I love it. Okay, among the rest of the field, right? Who do you have your eyes on? Who are you like low-key kind of rooting for?
Okay, so I think in terms of like the favorite for this match, I wouldn't blame anybody if they go for Mighty because he has a size advantage. And he's the current champion. But personally, I'm rooting for either E-Man or Ryan. E-Man, like he is really showing a lot of potential with every single match that is granted. I think like his match, the gauntlet match, this was the beginning of the year, CNY 2. He survived till the very end until like Vin did his shenanigans lah. But E-Man really shows like he has a lot of potential. I really am excited for his career progression. And that damn Ryan, man, when he had the match with Bryson Blade, I have never cried for a wrestling match until like this. I mean, of course, I've like other matches, but like local wrestling matches, like I've never cried. And like Ryan made me cry because like I was rooting for him, and when he lost, like that broke my heart. But when he just like stood up on his own 2 feet after getting like caned like multiple times, I was like, that's my guy. Ryan. So like I'm rooting for the underdogs in this match.
Referee Ryan, I think, really showed a lot of toughness, resilience, heart in that match. You know, I was watching it live and I was with my girlfriend and she was legitimately cringing like, wow, we are watching somebody getting killed. And it's like legit, you know, and like I remember talking to Ryan and Ryan was so chill about it. Ryan was like, yeah, I mean, I guess bathing's gonna suck later, but you know, he was so chill about it. And I think the thing about Referee Ryan, he's giving me like Spike Dudley underdog vibes. Or like, remember when which was the referee that always with Stone Cold, he always like shits against Vince McMahon? The Earl Hebner.
Yeah.
Remember Earl Hebner?
Yeah.
He's like he doesn't take shit from like the wrestlers and all that. Like I feel Referee Ryan can somehow almost become like a low-key legend in SPW because of how organic the cheering for the fans cheering for him is. Yeah.
So my question though is that now he's sort of in this match, are we going to see him more as a wrestler or more as a referee? Is this going to be a side quest for him and then he'll come back to refereeing full time, or has the wrestling bug bitten him and we're going to see him in the ring more often? Do we know?
Like, I don't know whether Ryan would appreciate if I share this. But he comes to training like every single week. He is very training.
Driven.
And even if like he's gonna be told like, hey, I need you to be a referee for this show, he'll be like, okay, but that doesn't mean I stop training. You know, that I appreciate about Ryan.
Yeah.
So I think from all his years of like training, even though he was tasked to be the referee, he's been training ever since 2018.
Wow.
So like he has the skills, and I think like in my personal opinion, he should throw away the referee shirt and just become a wrestler. But I mean, like maybe come up with a
cooler shirt,
yeah.
cooler outfit.
better name, maybe like Wrestler Ryan or something like that lah. The Rizzler Ryan or something.
The Rizzler.
Guys, hear me out. What if like maybe years down the road, he shows like a darker side and he can use his referee experience as like, oh, he knows how to circumvent the rules. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I can totally imagine a heel that's like, oh, I used to be a referee, so I know all the secret, ways to cheat, that kind of thing.
Yeah. I low-key like him keeping his zebra stripes as part of his attire.
Right.
I think paying homage to his referee background, but then eventually, stepping on his own. And Irvin also on the chat brought up, anybody remember Danny Davis, who's known as a wrestler referee?
Yeah.
There's a lot of ways to go about it, but I kind of like the fact that he does have his referee roots, but then he can interchange as a wrestler and maybe go on a wrestler run. Like say, for this year, 2025, I'm not going to ref at all. I'm going to be a pure wrestler. Let's see how far I can go. Like I think that can be worked into a storyline for sure.
So the toughest question, who do you think will come out as the 24 champion?
Ooh, okay, I know. I know Butcherman said that he liked Iman and referee, right?
Yeah.
I got a very soft spot. I do not know why, but maybe because poting. But I really I really like Riz.
Okay.
Previously homeless Riz, but now part of Wolfram Carten or kicked out of it. But he actually really can get sympathy, like his previous match also. So I don't know, I like him a lot. What do you think about him?
As what, the guy who potentially pulls it off?
Yeah. Or also him in general as a wrestler.
Butcherman.
So I see a lot of potential in him too. I just really like how even though sometimes his skills lack a little bit in terms of technique, but his heart is there. He's the type that's not the strongest, he's not the fastest, but he really just summons all his heart to fight lah. I mean, guys remember he had this feud with Big T or currently Mighty.
Yes.
He won. He won the first match. He got the best out of Big T in the second match, but of course ultimately lost the third match lah. But he was able to actually tie up with one of the SPW OGs. He also told me during the COVID period, he had the balls to challenge me and I felt that he tried his best, but as always, I just hope them all.
And also the fact that his Wolfram or ex-Wolfram Cartel members are in this match, I think that would be a very interesting storyline thread to pay attention to as well.
Correct. Okay, let's move on to the ladies that will be in action. Here we go. Alexis Lee, Singapore's very own, of course. Can't not have her on the 12th anniversary show, right? Versus Pom Harajuku. Okay. For those of us who don't know, tell us a bit more about Pom Harajuku.
Yeah, so I first met her in Thailand actually. So I wrestled Jonathan Johnson for the setup Openweight Championship on that show. So I met Pom. Very sweet lady.
Is she Thai?
Sorry again?
Is she Thai or Japanese?
Not Japanese.
Japanese, okay.
So her fighting style is very unorthodox. Because she has a very childlike behavior when she wrestles. Her most devastating move, which I'm actually quite scared for Alexis Lee, because it is really devastating. It's a kick to the shin.
Oh dear God. Okay.
Totally scared for Alexis Lee.
I mean, you just look at how cute she is. You know what I'm saying?
She does give me Yuka Sakazaki vibes.
Right.
Yuki Sakazaki vibes. Sorry.
She's known as the eternal 3-year-old born and raised in Harajuku. Is that her nickname?
Yes.
So
she is literally from Harajuku?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Guess
It's
it
like
works.
calling myself like unbedok like that. I guess it's the same vibes.
What the hell, bro?
Same vibes. Dear,
So
okay.
yeah, what can we expect from this match? Because I mean, we've seen Alexis Lee before. We know what she can bring. What about the pairing of Alexis and Pom?
Yeah, so like Alexis has wrestled like very like traditionally like formidable like Joshi wrestlers. So like Miyu Yamashita, I mean like known for her like dangerous kicks. Then like Yukika Mifuku, who was like who's like the current Queen of Asia champion. Pom though is like something that Alexis needs to solve because like if she's not careful, if she takes Pom too lightly, like Pom will steal the win for sure.
Yeah, agreed.
I'm just waiting to see the interaction because Pom is all cute and you know Alexis is super no nonsense. So that interaction in it of itself is going to be a thing to look out for, right? Okay, so let's talk about Shun Skywalker. Somebody apparently he's been to Singapore, but he's been in SPW before in 2018, but I'm unfamiliar with him. Tell us a little bit more about Shun Skywalker. He's going up against Aiden Rex.
So the Shun Skywalker that appeared in 2018 is way different from the Shun Skywalker now. Back then he was just finding his footing in wrestling, but now he's considered one of the ace of Dragon Gate Pro Wrestling.
Wow. Okay.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
So like he's been like multiple champion in Dragon Gate. So I think also the Aiden Rex that you saw on that same show in 2018 is way different from
Oh, for sure. For
yeah.
sure.
So I think it's kind of like the two journeys like merging with each other. Yeah, like the ace of SPW ace of Dragon Gate type of situation. Yeah.
Go ahead, Foreign.
No, I was just about to say like Shun Skywalker, like I think the Star Wars reference can't be missed, right? Like, but if you were to kind of like tie the name, why he calls himself Skywalker, is there anything in his wrestling that kind of resembles him as being a high flyer or like what's in the name?
I think he does like some like lucha stuff, and in fact like Dragon Gate is very known for their lucha resu style, which is basically in like Mexican and Japanese. But like from his like current incarnation, from what I see, it's a lot of like power moves, but also mixed in with like the high flying too.
It'll be interesting to see him match up against somebody who is known to be a very technical wrestler and also high flying wrestler as well in Aiden Rex.
Love it.
The
this is gonna
be quite a challenge for Aiden though, because like Shun Skywalker is quite a tall fella.
Oh,
okay. Where do you see Aiden Rex like like this year has been pretty big and up and down and so for him because he started off the year as a champion. He had a great run, defended against multiple people. He lost it against Statement. Was part of your tag team against the Midnight Bastards as well. And then now he's kind of like wrestling almost. I wouldn't say it's an exhibition match, but it's more of like a like an inter-promotional match as opposed to having like a storyline per se. How do you think he can end the year strong? And also reflecting on his title reign that he had this year.
Like when I win the SPW Southeast Asia Championship,
okay.
One of the contenders should be Aiden Rex because just in case you guys don't know, my first ever match, it was a multi-man match, and Aiden Rex was in that match, and he won the match by submitting me. So,
wow, okay.
That's a little bit of history between us. Okay. And yet we have teamed before, we have fought before, but I don't think there's ever been like a decisive like winner between us, like one-on-one. And also just a little bit of like a fun fact. This was more of like last year when I attended more like jiu-jitsu classes. So I would spar in like jiu-jitsu classes like with him. I've submitted him twice. He submitted me twice. So like I keep this in mind because I'm like, No, like I need to have one more victory.
The rubber match.
Ah,
Yeah, the rubber match needs to happen.
The raw match has to happen in the SPW ring.
why your dynamic reminds me of Rocky and Apollo Creed.
Creed.
You guys need to have that match without anyone seeing to see who won that final round. Yeah, I like it. I like it a lot.
Which
yeah.
then leads us to the main event of this Friday's Crowning Glory. Once again, if you haven't gotten tickets already, there are still some left. Go and reach out to SPW on Instagram. Can they reach out to you as well, Butcherman, if people want to get tickets?
Oh, absolutely, yeah. Just DM me on Instagram, the_Butcherman. Yeah, then I'll just like book the tickets for them.
Okay.
There you go. Okay.
Love it.
This is the main event right here. Check it out. Look at the handsome face. I'm talking about, both both very handsome. Statement, Andrew Tang, of course, is the SPW Southeast Asia champion versus Da Butcherman. Clevey made it into the poster as well. So, okay, I don't know if the glasses need to come off for this one or what. We'll keep it on for now, huh? We'll keep it on for now.
Yeah. Can we start off by, can you comment on Statement's promo that he cut, with his very typical Statement fashion. He got his alcohol on his one hand, he got his robe, and he's calling you out and he's talking a whole bunch of shit on you. And I know you did post a response as well.
Which I love, by the way. I saw that video response. Yeah.
Yeah. But like, talk to me about like your mindset going into this match. What Statement has meant to your career and like how it feel to actually, if you were to defeat him and become the SPW Southeast Asian champion.
So to answer your first question about the promo, I think you said it best. It's a typical Statement promo. Like, I wasn't surprised at all that he was going to, like say all those things and just give those like dicks towards me. But I think why I'm not super affected by those words is because I remember the people who believed in me ever since day one. I have a responsibility to my wife to make sure that I actually win this championship. So whatever the Statement wants to say, he can say. But like, I remember the people who stuck by me and I'm doing it for them. So in terms of like what Statement means to me, he's my trainer, or he did train me when I first started out. And he is like, no matter what anybody says, he is the backbone of SPW. And I've always like tried to conceptualize in my head like what would be the match between me and Statement. And yes, we have had matches before. It's just that was a very different me, and it was a very different Statement too. So like right now, I'm walking in as a person who has wrestled for 8 years, and a person who has won like most of the championships in SPW. It's just that like right now, I need to really be at the very top. And the person who is at the very top is the Statement. So even though he said all those personal things, it's really not personal between me and him. It's really just me trying to achieve my goal to become the best in SPW.
Do you look at the current version, 2024 Statement, and do you see him as being the best version of Andrew Tang?
Like actually like different schools of thought for this one, because a lot of people feel that because of his like partying and his drinking, all his shenanigans outside of wrestling, that he's kind of being complacent. But the thing is, like, I see the same Statement in terms of the fire and the passion he has, because in the end he is still the final boss of SPW, like for better term.
And let's not forget that he's also surrounded himself with two very, for lack of a better term, like brutal and up and coming guys in the Midnight Bastards. So it could make him the most dangerous he's ever been because he's got this backup now.
Yeah, that's true. I feel like I don't like even want to dream of underestimating him. I really need to give like all I have to beat him because when he wasn't the champion, he did mention before that, he kind of lost his fire for like wrestling. But now that he is the champion and he regained his fire, that makes him quite a dangerous guy. So I'm just gonna have to make sure that I really dig down deep to beat him, because I don't expect me to just like dominate and beat him up. Really expecting like me to take in a lot of punishment, and also just making sure that I dig down deep, call all the parts of my fighting spirit to beat him. Yeah.
I love it. I want to bring your attention to two of the comments on the chat, right? So, okay, Alfred was asking, can I ask, so I guess he's pretty new to SPW. Can I ask what makes the SPW Southeast Asian title much bigger than the SPW Singapore Championship or SPW Heavyweight Championship? So that's question one. And question two, I think is more of a comment. They didn't say this is bought my ticket, excited to attend my first local wrestling show. So we got somebody on the chat who's never attended a local wrestling show before, attending it for the first time. And so what can you say to somebody like him who's never experienced an SPW show before? So yeah, two questions for you.
So like the SPW Singapore Championship like means a lot to me, because like I treated that championship like the top championship when I was the champion. Took on all comers, made sure that I gave my all in those matches. But in terms of like the Southeast Asia Championship, in terms of the prestige, is actually quite a formidable title, because it's been held by like not only Singaporeans but like international wrestlers, and the amount of like international opportunities that you can get from the championship is something that I am excited for. So because in my opinion, when you're the Singapore champion, you're defending against Singaporeans. So Shivam was the Singapore champion. But I feel like it is a championship for Singaporeans. But like Southeast Asia Championship is like you got other people coming from like all parts of the world to take the title, and you're like, okay, like let's show that Singapore has like the best talent.
Well, I mean,
so like traveling champion lah, in a way. Okay.
To put it very bluntly, Southeast Asia bigger than Singapore geographically. It's like World Heavyweight Championship versus North American Championship. World bigger.
Yeah. Have you guys been to Southeast Asia? Have you seen how big Thailand, Vietnam is? God damn it, guys.
But yes, Aiden, it will be great to see you at the SPW show as well. First time going. Mighty commented, nastiest version of Tang 2024. I mean, Mighty has had his little issues with the statement as well. From this year.
So I just want to hear Butcherman's how will you sell a first time goer to a local wrestling show, especially SPW? What would you say that you can expect?
So like imagine like on Monday, assuming that you work on Monday, like you have like a very like hard day on Monday, Tuesday the same, Wednesday the same, Thursday is like getting better but it's still a bit shitty. Then on Friday, after you finish work, you go to an SPW event, and just imagine all the stress and all the frustration just leave your body, because all the aggression that you have will be let out vicariously through the wrestlers that you see over there.
Love it. And you know what? In a lot of ways, that's why we all love watching wrestling, right? To be taken away from whatever, stress that we have in our life. Oh, work sucks, relationship, this, that, and the other thing. You go to a wrestling show, you get lost in the storyline. You get lost in the athleticism, the, quote unquote, violence of it all. Yeah, you just gotta have fun and connect with fellow wrestling fans like us, right?
Love it.
So, okay. I mean, we did mention, and I know Mason has been popping in and out of chat to send you barbs here and there, but we have to expect that the state of bastards will not just leave the state. As much as we want to say, statement, be a man, do it honorably, blah, 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 you don't truly believe that's going to happen, do you?
I don't, but like, then again though, knowing statement for as long as I do, whenever you question his manhood, or whenever you question his pride, he like oh, you think I can't do it now? Okay, then I'll do it. So like
Yeah.
just banking on that.
Okay.
Okay.
But I think if we were to just do it like one-on-one,
Mhm.
no shenanigans, then we will really find out who is the best in SPW. That's the only true way we can do that.
Nice.
We're gonna clip this, you're gonna put it out in the social media realm. We shall see what statement has to say about your challenge, your gauntlet, one-on-one, no interferences, no backup. Let's
Very
go.
nice. Okay, because at some point, I would like the Butcherman to take his glasses off and say something to the statement. But before we do that, do you want to say anything to the fans, people who have been following SPW, who are fans of yourself for, however long? Do you have a message for them?
So especially like early this year, like I really had this like dip in confidence. Like I really felt that like if let's say I were to go for like the SPW Southeast Asia Championship, like would I be a valued champion? Will people actually believe in me as a champion? And I just really like doubted my abilities, like even though like we won the SPW Tag Team Championships, when we had the loss against like Sima and Kasayashi, even though of course they're legends and I respect them, that loss kind of like hit me quite hard. So at Hardcore Island, when the fans were chanting my name, when they gave their vote of confidence, like that really boosted my confidence quite a lot, because I was like, you know what, like, okay, like people do support me and I'm really grateful for that. So if you guys have supported me, for however long you have, like, I really appreciate it. And I hope that you guys will be there to cheer me on as I attempt to prove why I'm the best in SPW.
Yeah.
There you go. SPW Crowning Glory this Friday, 7:30 p.m. at the Fu Chao Building. We'll see you there 8th of November. If you haven't gotten tickets yet, reach out to SPW's Instagram page, social media, or the Butcherman himself. And we'll see you there. Butcherman, thank you so much for your time. We really, really appreciate you. Okay, we're going to jump into a quick sponsor plug for a second, and then we'll come back and the glasses will come off. I can't wait for that. But yes, in the meantime, I want to give a big shout out to Hasif. Hasif Captures, of course, our sponsor for the podcast. He is an independent financial advisor. So if you want to ask him anything about that, it doesn't even have to be about financial advice, right? It could be about fitness. He is a gym bro, fitness bro, high rocks guy, right? Look at these awesome photos of him, by the way. Yeah.
Love it.
You can just show him for some day. Yes, got such thing as free lunch. Absolutely 100% foreign.
Yeah, for sure. And of course, one thing he loves about the show, and one of the reasons why he wanted to be part of sponsoring the show, was the community. He sees our community, he sees how engaged we are, talking about not just WWE, AEW, but also local wrestling as well. And he wants to understand, like, what is the vibe, what is the hype, and everything Butcherman said about selling the show to you guys as a first-time viewer, he welcomes it as well. So guys, please, also, we want to build a great community here, and we want other people, to kind of help bring up local wrestling as a whole. So he's one of them, and he's contributing to us, and we hope that you guys can also contribute to him as well.
Absolutely. Drop him a follow if you haven't already on social media. It's HASIF_captures. And with that, we head back over to the Butcherman.
選ばこの僕と選ば好きなもん選ばこのちょぼけなこもた選ばかたともけなかた